Did not lose to them. Jim Lentine in an unfamiliar spot, the leadoff position in the Tiger batting order. And here at the microphone, Ernie Harwell.
And the tall left-hander, Chavez, about ready to go to work, but we've had time called already. See, I think there was a gate open over back of the Milwaukee dugout. They've got to get that closed. And Lentine ready to step back in there. Lentine had 3 hits in the opening game, and he had 1 last night. Here's the pitch to the right-hand batter, and he backed away in too close on him, ball 1. He's hitting .308 in his brief Tiger career. No home runs, and no runs batted in the leadoff spot. Right-hander waiting, and the pitch is a ball outside.
Inside temperature 65
degrees here at game time, and it is a bright, sunshiny afternoon. Here's the motion by Chavez. He delivers. It's a strike call. Den Kinger goes up with the right hand. 2-1 on Lentine, the Tiger leadoff man. Lou Whitaker getting a rest today. Sparky Anderson said he felt that Lou was pressing a little bit. He wanted to rest him a couple of days. Now the motion and the pitch. Lentine swings. There's a fly ball at the left field, back of the corner deep. Ogilvy going back, and it is out of here, a home run. Lentine leads off and breaks that scoreless streak of Chavez with his first home run as a Tiger. It got in the left field seat down in the corner. Jim Lentine touches the plate, and the Tigers take the lead in the opening inning, 1-0 on his home run. Here's Trammell coming to bat now.
That's Jim's first major league home run. He'd been up with the Cardinals a couple of different seasons, but had not homered.
Well, Tram stepping in now. He's hitting .315. And Chavez ready to go to work on the right-hand batting shortstop. Here's the motion and the pitch on the way. It's a ball. Well, Lentine's home run sends a free case of Superior potato chips to the favorite charity of Patricia Nygaard of the Order Bar on West McNichols in Detroit. Here's a ball outside, 2-0. Well, Mr. Chavez streak of scoreless innings went by the boards in a hurry. First man up broke that string. Here's a fastball high, 3-0, the count on Trammell. Kemp is waiting on deck. 1-0 on the Lentine home run. The Tigers in front. He takes a strike right across the heart of the plate. 3-1 on Trammell. Trammell had 2 hits in the game last night. Didn't have one in the opening game of the series. There's a strike hit above the knees, making a full count on Allen. I think we got a lot bigger bleacher crowd than we had in the other 2 games. Chavez, the 6'6" left-hander, delivers. Here's a ball. He walked him. Trammell draws the base on balls. That'll bring up Kemp, the Tiger DH. Steve taking his time walking up to the plate. He's batting .298 with 5 homers and 27 runs batted in. Had a couple of hits in the game last night. Outfield is deep and straight away, and the infield and double play depth against him. Parrish will be batting next. 1 run in, 1-0 Tigers. Man on first, nobody down. First inning at Milwaukee. There's a bunt. Off the mound comes Chavez. Can't field it. It's picked up by Gantner. He does not have a play. Everybody's safe. It'll be a bunt single by Kemp. As Chavez came off the mound, the ball bounced by him, and he just sort of watched it die in the infield grass. Gantner came over, picked it up, but didn't have time to make a play.
Strange play. Travers did not really make an effort at the time it was bunted. Gantner came over, then Travers reacted, then Gantner stopped, but Travers also stopped, and both let it just go dead on the grass.
Well, the Tigers have had 2 hits now, one for the distance, one that didn't get past the mound. In between, they've had a base on balls. And here is Parrish at the plate. Lance hitting .278, 7 home runs, and 32 runs batted in. Only 1 hit in the 2 games of this series, shaving off his average. Here's a pitch, and he takes a ball in close, ball 1. Man on first, man on second, nobody down, 1-0 Detroit. Infield and double play up the outfield to left on Lance. Now the set by Billy Travis. And he delivers a curve that hits the mark, and the count is 1-1.
Can't see who it is, but there's some right-hander listening in the bullpen now for Milwaukee.
Chavez taking a lot more time before this delivery. It's a 1-1 count on Parrish. Here's a pitch. He almost hit him with an inside curve. Incidentally, the Brewers don't really have much of a bench left. Everybody's been hurt. Dick Davis out now. They've got Molitor out, Money out, Cooper. Heisel is on the disabled list. Practically down to their extra catcher, Buck Martinez. Here's the set now by Travis. He delivers, and it is a strike on the inside corner, 2-2. Report on Money is that he was examined by the doctor. He took some fluid off his knee, and he probably will be ready for action in several days. Now, Parrish is going to step away from the plate for a moment. Cowens is the on-deck man by the Tigers here in the opening inning. 2 men on, nobody down. Here's the 2-2 pitch coming up to Lance. And he swings and pops the foul back of the plate. Here comes Charlie Moore. He's fighting it. He makes the play. Parrish just swung at an outside curveball. Moore couldn't find that ball at first. And he bumped the den king of the plate umpires. He went back for it and finally located it and made the catch in foul territory. Well, the runners stay right where they were, and Cowens will be the batter.
That ball started up like it might go back on the screen, but that wind that helped Lentine's fly ball get to the seats carried it back to Charlie.
Then King dusting off the plate for a moment. Cowens stepping in with his .240 average. 1 home run and 17 runs batted in. Al's been out with a eye problem. Virus settling in the eye, somewhat like Whitaker had. He says it pains him a little bit, and the eye waters a lot. Waiting on the left-hander Chavez, and the pitch is on the way. It's a curve in for a strike on Al Cowens. 1-0. The Tigers ahead on the leadoff home run by Lentine. They've got Trammell at second base and Kemp at first base. Cowens digging in, waiting on a strike 1 delivery. Here it comes, and he takes the ball in too close. 1-1 the count on him. They've got the bleachers roped off in the middle section to allow a good background for the hitters. Otherwise, they are jammed in out there on the bleaching boards. Here's a pitch. Runners go. The ball is swung on, hit the left field, base hit. Trammell rounding third, coming home. He'll score. The throw by Ogilvy, cut off by Yump. The shortstop in front of the third baseman, Gantner, and stopping at second is Kemp. 2-0 Tigers on the RBI single by Cowens. And now the batter will be John Wackenfuss, playing in left field today. John, one of the best clutch hitters on the Tiger team. He's hitting .263 with 6 home runs and 18 runs batted in. Didn't play in the game last night, but in the opening game of the series, had 1 for 2 plus a walk. 2-0 Tigers, first inning, 2 on and 1 away. Travis delivers, and it is a curve. It comes in high.
That RBI single by Cows, his first run batted in as a Tiger.
And he's at first base now with Kemp leading down off second. Travis to the set, pitches. There's a swing and a miss. Wackenfuss swinging for the Boondocks. Talking to Cal McLeish about the wind here. He says it generally blows out, but no matter what the wind is, he says it'll swirl down in the corners, and it seems that a ball hit into the corner always is aided by the wind in each corner here. Here's the pitch. It is a ball high, 2-1. Changeup from Travers. Man on first, man on second, 1 man down. 2-0 Tigers, first inning at Milwaukee. Wackenfuss takes strike call. That was a curve across 2-2. Cal McLeish pitched for Brooklyn. That was his first ball club. He could pitch with either hand, although he didn't do it in the game. But he was able to use either hand to throw with, and did it sometime barnstorming out in Oklahoma. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Wackenfuss cuts and fouls it away. He said he could throw a lot better from the outfield or just in the infield with his left hand than he could when he got on the pitching mound and had to pitch. Not when he toured out in Oklahoma with Allie Reynolds and Dale Mitchell and some of those other Oklahomans. He would pitch an inning right-handed, then one left-handed once in a while. Here's Chavez ready to go. He's a left-hander, pitching to Wackenfuss, and John is hit by the pitch. It got him on the foot or the knee. I'm not quite sure. He goes down. Now he gets up. He's hobbling a little bit. Here comes Sparky out. Bill Beam is trotting out now to check on him. And here comes Mr. McLeish, the pitching coach, out to the mound. Wackenfuss at the plate. He is on his feet. He's limping. Got him on the left foot or the ankle.
It's up just below the knee, Ernie, high on the outside of the calf. I hope it's below the knee. He pointed to an area a couple of inches below the level of the kneecap.
Paul Mitchell throwing in the bullpen from Milwaukee. Mitchell.
John's on his feet. He's walking down to first base. And Mitchell is throwing in the Milwaukee bullpen. The batter will be Richie Hebner. Hebner playing first base. And batting 283. Facing Bill Travis. These two are from the same hometown. Norwood, Mass. Hebner's a little bit older than Billy. But he never really played much against him. But they used to see each other around town a bit. So the bases are loaded with Hebner at the plate. He has 5 home runs and 36 runs batted in. Chance now to break it wide open. The Tigers lead Milwaukee 2-0 in the first inning. Hebner swings and doesn't get it. Strike one. Bases are loaded with Tigers. Outfield straight up on Richie Hebner. Chavez gets his sign from his catcher, Charlie Moore, and delivers. Here's a fastball in for a strike. Strike 2, the count on Richie Hebner. 2 quick ones on Richie. Brohard, the first baseman, playing deep and wide of the bag over the back of Wackenfuss, the runner. Little Chavez ready, delivers. It is outside. A fastball off the corner, 1-2. And 19 led off with a home run. The Tigers then added another run of the single by Cowens. They've got a 2-0 lead. They're still alive in the first inning. 1-2 pitch to Hebner coming up. Here it is. He swings and misses. Struck him out as he was jammed with an inside fastball. Now that'll leave it up to Brookins with 2 out and 3 men on. Brookins batting .255. He has 1 home run and 7 runs batted in. Outfield straight up, the infield back now. With the bases loaded and 2 down. 2-0 Tigers first inning. He takes it the ball outside. Kemp at third, Cowens at second, Walking Fuss at first base. Stands Pappy, the number 9 hitter, waiting on deck. Brookins, the Tiger third sacker, at the plate, and the pitch on the way. Taken for a ball wide. He checked his swing. 2-0, the count on Brookins. Jim Dickerson, the Chicago banker, in attendance today, watching his heroes, the Tigers, in action. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Brookins. He swings and nubs a little foul over to Alex Gramus, the coach's box third. Two balls and a strike. That's the count. Brookins at the plate. 3 Tigers ready to run. Here's the left-hander Billy Chavez to the set. He pitches. And Brookins takes a strike on the inside corner. 2-2. He's been nipping off the corners on the last couple of hitters. Big breeze blowing out toward left on this bright, sunshiny Sunday afternoon at County Stadium, Milwaukee. Matt Chavez, a slow worker on the mound. Still not ready. He stretches, he delivers. There's a high foul that'll be out of play. Back in among the customers. Happy birthday today to young Tiger in Grand Rapids, Brent Clayton-Hoff, celebrating his birthday. 2-2. That's the count on Brookins. Chavez straddles the slab, taking a little more time out there in the middle of the diamond. Brookins waiting on the 2-2 delivery once again. Here it comes. He swings and beats one to third base, hits the bag. In to score comes Kemp, and everybody's safe. It'll be a single and hit third base. Bounded over towards shortstop. Robin Yount grabbed it, but he didn't have a play anywhere, and the Tigers have a 3-0 lead. They still have the bases loaded, and Stan Pappy will be the batter. Right-hand hitting second baseman, Pappy. Giving Lou Whitaker a little bit of a rest this afternoon. 4 hits and 5 trips. This will be the 4th game in which he's appeared. He has 1 triple and 1 home run. He has 4 runs batted in. Breaking him with a bang, Mr. Pappy, the former Boston Red Sox infielder. Bases remain loaded with 2 down. Here's a pitch, and he swings too early on a breaking ball. Strike 1 on Stan. RBIs in this inning. Lentine on a home run. Cowens with a single. And Brookins with a bases loaded single. Chavez ready to go to work again. Kicks and pitches. There's a curve in for a strike. Well, he's thrown him 2 slow ones, and there are 2 strikes now on Pappy. Chavez ahead of the hitter. Lean left-hander. Sets and pitches. Here's a ball in tight. He jammed him at the hands. 1-2 on Pappy. Right-handed batter waits at the plate, and Mr. Travers is going to straddle the slab again. Pappy was batting .357 at Oklahoma City, and the Tigers acquired his services. Now the 1-2 pitch to him, and it is a slow curve outside, 2-2. Never really got to play with a Red Sox. A pretty tough infield to move around there. 2-2 the count on Stan. And Travers still not ready. So Pappy steps away from the plate and resettles himself into the batter's box. Here's the 2-2 delivery. It is a ball. Now we've got the full count. So something's got to break loose here. The bases are loaded with 2 out and 3-2 on the hitter. Travers had pitched 20 scoreless innings before this game got underway. Lentine, the Tiger leadoff man, settled up for him with a home run, leading it off. And the Tigers have added 2 more in this first inning. They've got the bases loaded. The 3-2 pitch coming up to Pappy. Here it is. He swings. There's a fly ball to left field. Ogilvy coming in, can't get it. Base hit. Here comes Cowan to score. Right behind him, Watkins scores, and on the second goes Brookins. A 2-run single, and the Tigers have pitched in with 5 runs here in the first half of the first inning. Here comes George Bamberger out. Mr. Chavez, who had been going along in fine style before this game, has run into a buzzsaw in the way of the Tiger bats here in the opening inning. He is leaving the mound here amid boos from the hometown fans of Milwaukee. And we'll have a new pitcher. Mitchell has been throwing in the bullpen, so we'll just have to wait and see whether it'll be he or whether it'll be somebody else. Anyway, Bamberger and Charlie Moore will be the reception committee out there at the mound as the automobile moves up to the gate. They open the gate, and Mitchell will be the newcomer to the mound. But the Tigers in the lead in the first inning, 5-0.
This is the first appearance of the season for Paul Mitchell since he was called up from Vancouver. Mitchell bouncing around a little bit. Originally with the Baltimore organization, then to Oakland, then to Seattle. Milwaukee acquired him mid-season last year in a deal that was a swap of pitchers, Randy Stein for Paul Mitchell. And Paul wound up appearing 18 times last year for the Brewers, winning 3, losing 3, had 8 starts, but then began the season at Vancouver and was recently called up, but this will be his first appearance according to the intercom here, but I thought I had seen his name in a box score one time. I guess not. He's not on the stats. At any rate, the right-hander Paul Mitchell takes over. And we'll pause right here for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
This is WJR Detroit. A lot of wit, a lot of music, a lot of information. It's Jim Davis on the Afternoon Music Hall. Be listening weekday afternoons at 3:15.
Rough outing for Bill Travers, who, as cited before the game began, had been pitching very well of late. Ernie pointing out it didn't last very long, that consecutive streak of innings without giving up an earned run when Jim Lentine potted a home run leading off the ball game. The Tigers making some use of the base runners here in the first inning. Alan Trammell walked following the homer by Lentine. Steve Kemp laid down a bunt to sacrifice him, but both Travers and Gantner laid off, and Kemp had an infield hit. After Lance Parrish went after a bad pitch and popped foul, Al Cowens delivered a single about to score a run. John Walkenfuss was hit by a Travers pitch on the outside of the upper calf. That, at the time, will put 3 on base. Richie Hebner struck out to make it 2 away. But then Tom Brookins came through with a clutch single to left field. It came off the third base bag. Actually, Gantner trying to make the stop had a feeling that it might have been worth 2 runs if it hadn't hit the bag. But it popped straight up in the air and just died out and behind the skin of the infield. So the Tigers managed to get only 1 run, leaving the bases loaded. And Stan Pappy on a 3-2 pitch delivered a pair of runners with a single to left field. So Travers has given up 5 runs. He leaves 2 on. The Tigers have nicked him for 5 hits here in just 2/3 of an inning. He walked 1, struck out 1, and hit a batter. So Paul Mitchell, a right-hander, now on the mound. Ernie?
And another native of Massachusetts takes over the pitching duties. He's from Worcester. Makes his home now out in the state of Washington. He pitched for Seattle until during the middle of the season. They traded him here to Milwaukee last year. And the pitch to Lentine is a strike call. Mitchell got that first one over. Here's the man who started it for the Tigers with a leadoff home run. Tigers ahead 5-0 first inning. They are still up with 2 men on and 2 men out. Right-hand batting Lentine at the plate, and Jim takes a wide curve from Mitchell. Mitchell got his start with the Baltimore Orioles. Then they sent him to Seattle, and from Seattle he came to Milwaukee. Right-hander holds it at the belt now. And delivers. Here's a ball high to Lentine, and the count is 2-1. Man on second, Brookins. Man on first is Pappy. Each there with singles. Jim Lentine waiting on the next delivery. Mitchell fires, and it is outside and low, 3-1. Trammell is waiting on deck. Set by Mitchell, he deals, and it is taken, ball 4. That will load the bases. Well, the Tigers again have 3 on. The batter will be Trammell. Second walk in the inning. Mitchell walking the first man he faces. Trammell drew a walk off the starter Travers. His first time up. Oh, the Tigers have now sent 11 batters to the plate here in the opening inning. They have the bases loaded and 2 down. A 5-0 lead over the Brewers. Mitchell ready, pitching to Trammell. Allen takes. It is a strike and above the knees. That was a fastball. Right-hander ready. Delivers. Trammell looks at a ball low. 1-1 on Allen. Mitchell also had a short stint with the Oakland Ball Club. Takes his set, decides he'll step out the slab. Trammell steps away from the plate. Steve Kemp's on deck. 3 men on. Tigers lead 5-0 first inning. They're 2 away. Here's the pitch to Trammell. He takes a ball outside, a curve high. 2-1 the count on Allen. Here's the 2-1 pitch. He cuts it. It's a bounding foul over past the Tiger dugout. Relio Lopez sitting over there with his jacket on. Getting a little sunshine. Relio says his family's going to join him at the end of this month. He's very anxious to see his family once again. Trammell steps back in. He's got a 2-2 count on him with the bases loaded and 2 down. Tigers lead 5-0 first inning. Paul Mitchell delivers. There's a fly ball at the right field, fairly deep. Lascano going back, still going. Makes the catch at the warning track, and the side retires. Well, the Tigers send up 11. Get 5 runs on 5 hits. There were no errors. 3 runners are left. And at the end of a half inning, it is Detroit 5, Milwaukee coming to bat.
Thinking of a mid-size car but want a V6 engine standard?
The only way to go is to go GM.
That's right. You can scour the country high and low. And the only way you can get a V6 engine in an American mid-size car is from General Motors. No other domestic car maker offers them. But their standard equipment on Chevrolet Malibu and Monte Carlo, Pontiac Le Mans and Grand Prix, Oldsmobile Cutlass and Cutlass Supreme, and Buick Century and Regal. Now, what's so special about a V6 engine? Simply this. It has 2 fewer cylinders than a V8, yet it delivers the kind of performance people like in a V design. So it all comes down to this. If you want a V6 engine in an American mid-size car, there are no ifs, ands, or buts.
The only way to go is to go GM.
Well, Mr. Dan Petrie making a long walk from the bullpen now, and he'll be tuning up to face the Milwaukee Brewers, and Dan has the comfort at the moment of a 5-0 lead. We've got some loyal Tiger fans here, Carl and Catherine Gustafson, their son Stanley, and their cousin Edwin. They're from Cadillac, Michigan. Attending the contest this afternoon. Also, we'd like to send birthday greetings to Mr. Russell Barringer of Detroit, celebrating a birthday. Also, happy anniversary greetings to the Thomas C. O'Rourke, the Milton Burnhams of Davison, Michigan, and a happy birthday to Lila Marble of Battle Creek. Breeze blowing a balloon out on the field. Now we've got a lot of the hot dog wrappers blowing out there. They'll have to be retrieved. Good turnout here this afternoon on Helmet Day in Milwaukee. Happy anniversary to Ray and Lila Allard of Muskegon, Michigan, longtime Tiger fans. Don't forget now, the Tigers will be home Tuesday night. They'll be battling the Minnesota Twins. Wilcox and Zahn will be the pitchers in the opening game of that 3-game series. Here's Jim Gantner, the left-handed batting third baseman at the plate for Milwaukee, leading it off. He bunts the ball. It's a foul back at the plate. Gantner batting .234. Jim has 8 runs batted in and no home runs. Brookington close at third. They've got Trammell at shortstop for the Tigers. Pappy at second today, and Hebner at first base. Petrie delivers. There's a swing and a miss by Gantner, and the count is strike 2. In the outfield, Walkenfuss is in left. Lantine is in center field, and Cowan's in right for the Tigers. The catcher, Lance Parrish. It's a fly ball that will be fouled back in the seats in left field. He did not get around on Petrie's fastball. Beautiful sunshiny day today. Outside and high. Petrie's next pitch, 1-2 the count. He swings and strikes out. First man up fans, and there's one up and one away. Robin Yount, the shortstop, will be the batter. Tigers with a 5-0 lead in the first inning. The Brewers at bat. Robin batting .332. 8 home runs and 32 runs batted in. It's a fastball high and outside. Another of the Tigers getting a rest today is Kirk Gibson. Parker likes to rest his players down. Give the reserves a chance to get in the lineup. There's a fly ball hit to the left field corner. Coming over is walking first, and he makes the catch. Good catch by John. He banged up against the padded fence after he caught the ball. Right down there in the corner where it measures 315 feet. That is a tough wind this afternoon. It's a strong breeze blowing out. In fact, we've had the wind here for all 3 games. It's been a fairly strong one. Here's Sal Bando, the DH. Sal batting .219, and the veteran takes the ball outside. Bando looks at a strike call. Oh, we had a nice visit with Rocky Rowe, the pride of Southfield, who's in the umpiring crew now. Working in this ball game today. He just came in today. Fastball outside on Bando. 2-1 the count. They'll work this series, the next series coming up here in Milwaukee, and then come to Detroit in the middle of the week. There's a fly ball hit into right. Cowens is there waiting, gloves it, and they go easily in the Milwaukee first. So at the end of 1, Tigers 5, Brewers nothing.
Midway Airlines, Midway Airlines, we're Midway Airlines, and we really go for you, really go for you.
Midway is flying high with DC-9 jet service and the lowest fares to Chicago, as low as $35. And you can fly to convenient Midway Airport. So kiss O'Hare goodbye. Call Midway or your travel agent.
Midway Airlines, Midway Airlines.
The sounds of summer are in the air, and that means fun time. Pro-Keds knows how important your fun time is. That's why they make so many different kinds of sports shoes. Whether your sport is basketball, or tennis, or jogging, or just having fun, Pro-Keds has the right shoe for you. For all those times you feel like a pro.
Sponsored by the Stride Rite Corporation. Available in Detroit at Home Athletic Sales and Paris Bowling Supply. Also, Sunburst Sport Shops in Detroit and Ferndale.
Which former Tiger hit 2 Grand Slam homers in 1 game in consecutive times at bat? None other than outfielder Jim Northrup, who did it against Cleveland in the championship year 1968. That's a Tiger Tidbit. I'm Frank Beckman.
Maybe you missed some of those late games last night. The Yankees beat Seattle 1-0, so they stay 3.5 ahead of Milwaukee. Baltimore defeated California in a late game 6-5. Baltimore is just 1 game back of the 500 mark now. They won 25 and lost 26. In the West, Kansas City leads the White Sox by 4. The White Sox were rained out of their game with Cleveland at Chicago yesterday. Oakland is in 3rd place there, 6 back. In the National League, the Montreal and Pittsburgh teams are tied for 1st place in the East. Each of those teams is a game ahead of Philadelphia. And in the West, Los Angeles leads Houston by 1, leads Cincinnati by 2. 4 night games in the major leagues on Sunday night. That's a trend that I don't welcome too much. Used to be, you didn't have any night games, and then Texas was about the only team that ever played one at night, and now there are 4 this Sunday. Well, here's Kemp at the plate. He had a single his only time at bat. The Brewers are trying for their 5th straight win, but right now the Tigers have them 5-0 in the 2nd inning. Mitchell, the reliever, ready to go to work against Kemp. Right-hander Mitchell delivers, and Kemp takes a curve. It's over, but it's high, ball 1. They pitch in too close. 2-0. Talk about the value of a hitting ball club. Look at the St. Louis Cardinals. They're leading the league in hitting, but they have the worst won and loss record in the major league. Nope, he's going to step out. Kemp stepping away from the plate. Now in there to wait on a 2-0 pitch. It is a ball in high. 3-0 the count on Steve. Wind up and the pitch on the way. It is a strike called. Tigers have been taking a lot of pitches here in the early part of this game. There's a foul ball hit down past Dick Trzaskowski. A little grounder hits the barrier and bounds around down toward the right field corner. Mitchell ready to go to work again. A 3-2 pitch coming up to Steve Kemp. And here it is. He struck him out. A called third strike, and the Kemp goes back to the bench. One up and one away. Here's Parrish, who fouled out to the catcher. Charlie Moore, his only time at bat. Outfield deep and straight away on Lance. Texas comes in here beginning Tuesday night to meet the Brewers. The Brewers will be off tomorrow. Here's a swing and a miss. Strike one on Lance. Travis started. Mitchell came on in the first inning. Mitchell delivers a fastball that's in close on Parrish, 1-1. Tigers have got 5 runs in the opening inning. Started off with a home run by Lentine. And they got a single by Cowens to drive in one. A single by Brookins drove in a run. And Pappy drove in 2 more with a single. Wind up the pitch. Parrish swings and fouls it away. It'll be back up this way. Month of June's been a good month for the Brewers. They've won 5 out of 6 games in this month. Mitchell ready, winds and pitches. There's a big curve. It floats outside. 2-2 the count on Parrish. He swings, puts a fly ball to left center. Ogilvy digging hard, and he makes the catch on the run. Then got over to his left, running hard, and picked that one off at the warning track. 2 up and 2 away in the Tigers' second. Cowens will be the batter. Al had a single and drove home a run in the first inning. First RBI as a Tiger. He swings and hits one to left. Ogilvy is there. He's got it. The ball hit right to his glove. And the Tigers are out 1-2-3 in the second inning. We go to the last half of the second. Detroit 5, Milwaukee nothing. Dan Petrie out on the mound now for the Tigers, ready to face the Brewers in the second. The Detroit is ahead by 5-0 score. Petrie set him down 1-2-3 in the Brewer first inning. And he'll face the cleanup man, Gorman Thomas, who'll be starting it off here in the last half of the second inning. Thomas, the home run king of the American League. Take his time about moving up the home plate. Gorman batting .203. With 10 home runs and 30 runs batted in. Team that's given Milwaukee the most trouble this year is Toronto. They've won 5 games out of 5 against the Brewers. Petrie ready to go to work, and he delivers the ball outside. Ball 1. After Thomas, it'll be Ogilvy and then Lescano. They got the 3 outfielders batting here in the 4th, 5th, and 6th spots. Wind up by Petrie. He delivers, and the ball is low. 2-0, the count on Gorman. As a team, Milwaukee's hit 65 home runs. Tigers have hit 49. There's a ball in too close, ball 3. Thomas waits on 3-0, and he takes a strike, a fastball above the knees. Petrie, the 21-year-old right-hander, waiting for Thomas to re-enter the batter's box. Dan winds and pitches. There's a drive to right field. Cowens is there. He's got it for the out. Thomas, one of the several hitters in this lineup who has reached the right field seat. One of the several right-hand hitters who's reached the right field seat. Lescano is another one. Heisel is another one. Here's Ben Ogilvy leading the league in home runs. He has 40 RBIs and 14 home runs. Also leads in RBIs. Here's the pitch. He swings and it's a topper wide of first, gloved by Hebner. Throw to Petrie covering and bends out. 2 down, nobody on, and that'll bring up Sixto Lescano. Right-hander batting right fielder. Batting .222 with 5 homers and 25 runs batted in. Had 1 hit in 4 trips last night. He had a couple of hits in the opening game of this series on Friday night. It's a ball outside on Sixto. Gold Glove winner last year, .321 hitter. And yet a man who doesn't get a lot of publicity. Here's a ball outside, 2-0. Johnny Pesky used to have a line about Gene Woodling. He says he's the most overrated, underrated player in baseball.
So many stories about him being underrated.
Yeah. It's a little tapper foul. 2-1, the count on Lescano. I guess John got tired of reading all those stories and also getting beaten by some of the clutch hits that Woodling came up with against Boston. Sixto waits. The pitch is a ball going outside. 3-1. Now Petrie gets his sign, goes to work, and it is a high one for ball 4. That'll be the first runner for Milwaukee. 2 out, walk to Lescano. Mark Brohard, the first baseman, will bat now. Brohard hitting .250 with 1 home run and 6 runs batted in. Outfield is deep and around toward left. Edler's going to hold on the bag over there with Sixto. Fastball high, ball one. We're in the second inning in Milwaukee. The Tigers, with 5 in the opening inning, lead them 5-0. Petrie ready, kicks and deals, and the pitch is high, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Takes that, it is high and away, ball 3, and we're having a little control trouble now with Petrie. Seeing the plate move around a little bit on him. Got the first 2 men fairly easily, then he walked Lescano. He's gone to 3-0 on the next man, Brohard. Brohard has a 4-game hitting streak on the line right now. Now the set by right-hander Petrie. He deals, and he walked him. It was high. And to put 2 Brewers on, here comes Sparky. Coming out of the dugout, walking toward the middle of the diamond. And the batter will be the infielder, Ed Romero. Romero, a right-hand batter. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
This is WJR Detroit. In kitchen or car, no matter where you are, J.P. McCarthy brings you the first word on sports, weather, traffic, news, and good music, too. Join him mornings at 6:15.
Conference over. Sparky heads back for the dugout. 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Tigers. No runs, no hits, no errors for Milwaukee. The Brewers, with a couple of 2-out walks, have runners at first and second here. And Romero, the right-hand batting infield at the plate. Ed takes a strike, fastball above the knees. Rhythmic applause started by the Brewer fans around us now. Petrie sets and deals. It is a strike on the inside corner. Dan ready to go again. Romero takes a very wide curve, 1 ball and 2 strikes to count on him. First 5 batters run down in a row for the Spence of Mr. Petrie. Then he walked 2. That's where we are now. Tigers in the lead, 5-0 second inning in Milwaukee. Petrie readies himself again, sets and pitches, and it is high and away, 2-2. Outfield straight up in normal depth, the infield back, and the 2-2 pitch forthcoming. Here it is. He swings. There's a drive to deep left center field. It may get up the gap. It does. The base hit. Rounding third, heading home is Lescano. Right behind him is Brohard. And holding at second now is Romero. 2 runs in for Milwaukee.
Caught on the bounce by a fan, and they're sending Brohard back to third. So that's a break for the Tigers. They're calling it a ground rule double. Or fan, they had to make their judgment on this, and it's not really a ground rule double. And that's what Bob Rogers is talking about now. To me, it was apparent that Brohard would score on that blow. With 2 out, he's running on anything hit. And I think he would have made it in from first base easily. And that's what Buck is talking about right now. Sparky ran out there briefly, came back, but plate umpire Don Denkinger made the call right away, sending Brohard back to third.
Well, that's a break all right for the Tigers because it looked to be evident that he would come on in, that they'd get those 2 runs in, but the umpire's judgment is that he would not have scored. Probably leave him at third. And instead of 2 runs scoring, there's 1 run in. Runners at second and third, 2 down. And the next man to bat will be Charlie Moore. Well, they take one of the runs away and put a 1 up on the board instead of that 2. Here's a pitch. Moore hits a little chopper toward short, cut off by Brookins. The third baseman fires it over to Hebner, and the side retires. So the Brewers get a run. 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors, and 2 runners are left on base. And at the end of 2 in Milwaukee, the Tigers 5, the Brewers 1.
Gee, it's good to be back here again at the ball game in Detroit again. That's where my heart has always been. With the Detroit Tigers playing baseball again.
Baseball is like an old friend. The longer it's part of your life, the more you like it. That's why so many people come out to see the Detroit Tigers play. It feels good. The Marathon Oil Company loves baseball just like you do. And the Marathon Oil Company is proud to be here with the Detroit Tigers.
It's good to be back here again.
You know it is.
With the Detroit Tigers playing baseball again.
The Detroit Tigers and the Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better. And we did. Who is the only Tiger to hit a home run on the first pitch in his first Major League appearance? It was George Vico on April 20th, 1948. That's a Tiger Tidbit, and I'm Ed Head.
Well, Mr. Mitchell ready to go to work now. The Tigers have a 5-1 lead after the couple of walks with 2 out and a double by Romero. Paul and I talking about that ball hit out there. It may be the umpire's decision that the ball would have bounced into the seats anyway. And a ball that bounces in, of course, is a 2-base hit. It's like a ball that goes over the fence is a home run. So even if the fan had not interfered, the decision probably would have been that it would have been in the seat. Anyway, it's a double for Romero, and instead of 2 runs crossing the plate, only 1 came in. And the Tigers have a 5-1 lead going into the 3rd inning. Mitchell came into the game in the first inning, walked the first man he faced, Lentine, and then he set down the next 4. Now he faces Walkenfuss, who will lead it out for the Tigers in the 3rd, then Hebner, and then Brookins. Helmet day here at County Stadium. And you look down, you see a lot of youngsters wearing their blue and white helmets. They took them out of the cellophane and had to put them on their heads right away. Here's Walkenfuss at the plate. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning. He and Charlie Moore engaging in a little bit of conversation. Outfield deep and straight up on John, and the right-hander Paul Mitchell ready for action. 5-1, Tigers lead the Brewers in the 3rd. John takes the ball outside, a curve from Mitchell. RBIs for the Tigers. Lentine with his home run. Single by Cowens got in 1. Single by Brookins got in 1. And Pappy singled home 2 runs. Walkenfuss swing, fly ball, right center field deep. Thomas is going over. He's got it, running to the glove side. Richie Hebner, who fanned his first time up, will be the batter. He faces a right-hander this time. It was the left-hander Chavez, the starter, who struck him out the first time they met. Tigers batted 11 men in that opening inning and left 3 of them on base and still scored 5 times. It's a ball low to Richie, ball 1. Right-handed Mitchell works off the first base side of the slab. Having a strike. That was a curve over. Travis, the starter, lasted 2/3 of an inning. Was touched for 5 runs on 5 hits. Change-up is low. 2-1 the count on Hebner. Mitchell's next delivery. Swung on a bounding ball to first. It's deep. Gloved there by Brohard. He makes the play unassisted. And there are 2 Tigers out in the 3rd inning. Brookins, who had a key hit in the 5-run first inning third, drove in a run with it, will be the batter. When the Tigers resume action, it'll be Tuesday night at Tiger Stadium. Wilcox and Zahn will be the rivals in that opening game of the 3-game series between the Tigers and the Twins. Wednesday, Dave Rosemer gets the start against Pete Redfern. Swing and a miss by Brookins, strike 1. Thursday night in the finale of the series, Pat Underwood and Jerry Kuzman will be the pitching rivals. And Chicago comes to town after that. Here's a ball outside. We've got Polish-American night scheduled. Friday, June the 13th, the White Sox are in town. Tiger Day on Saturday, and Sunday is Free Helmet Day with the White Sox. Now, Brookins steps away from the plate. After that, the White Sox series is concluded as a twilight doubleheader with Milwaukee. That'll be the first 2 games in a 3-game set for the Brewers, beginning Monday, June 17th. There's a foul out of play into the seat back of the plate. Well, check that Tiger schedule now. Make your plans to be out with us to enjoy the game that all the family can enjoy together. Here's Brookins waiting, and he ducks an inside curve, 2-2. And Pappy, the on-deck man for the Detroiters. Here's Mitchell's next delivery. Swing and a foul off the mask of the plate umpire, Don Denkinger. After that off day Monday, the Tigers start a 9-game homestand. 9 games in 8 days. Here's the pitch. Swing and a bounding ball up the middle. Yount has it deep at second. Throw to first. Not in time. They collide. Brookins is getting up slowly. He seems to be all right. Brohard and Brookins collided as Yount fired the ball from deep back of second and center field. Didn't really have a chance. Brookins beats it out, and he is the first Tiger with 2 hits in this game. Here comes Pappy. He had a 2-run single his first time up. That's the first hit since Mitchell took over in the first inning. Tigers lead them 5-1. We're in the 3rd in Milwaukee. Final game of the series, the Brewers took the first 2. Here's the stretch by Mitchell. He's going to flip one over to first base. Back in time is Brookins. Right-hand batting Stan Pappy waiting, and he takes the ball low. Well, Stan now has 5 hits and 6 trips as a Tiger. He's driven in 6 runs with those 5 hits. He takes a wide curve, 2-0 to count on Pappy. Jim Lentine waiting at the on-deck circle. Man on first is Brookins with 2 outs. Now Mitchell, the right-hand reliever, goes to work again. Brookins bluffs going, doesn't. The ball is hit on the ground to Gantner. Third, throw to second. to Romero. They get the force out on Brookins, and the Tigers are out. No runs on one hit to below errors of the man left, and we go to the last half, the third. Tigers 5, Milwaukee 1. Tigers ahead of the Brewers 5-1. The Brewers batting now in the third inning. Gant at the top of the batting order will be followed by Yount, and then it'll be Sal Bando against Dan Peaches Petrie. Brewers got their run with 2 out in the second, a couple of walks to Lescano and Brohard, and then a double by Marrero, still homer run. In the other games, Minnesota leads Toronto 1-0 there in the last half of the fourth inning. That's the first of 2 at Minnesota. Cleveland leads Chicago 3-1 at the end of 3 at Chicago. And the other game's not on the way yet. In the National League, Cincinnati ahead of San Diego 1-0. They are in the 6th inning at Cincinnati. Here's Gantner, struck out the first time, and he takes the ball low. Doubleheader at New York. They've had a rain delay there, 2 of them as a matter of fact, but the Mets lead Pittsburgh 2-1 in the 4th inning, last half of the 4th. There's a strike called, and the count even now on Gantner, 1-1. Montreal leading St. Louis 5-2 in their first game at Montreal there in the 8th. Bounding ball up the middle, deep at second goes Pappy, gloves it for the first. He got him. Going deep to his right, Stan Pappy makes the play. Robin Yount will be the batter. He's the shortstop who flied to left his first trip. Well, the Cubs are leading in the 8th inning, 2-0. Philadelphia, Ruthven and Reed are the Philly pitchers. Yount flied to left field his first trip. Right-hander against the right-hander. 5-1, Tigers lead Milwaukee. Here's a foul lifted out of play, back upstairs. Bounding down below. And a gentleman in a red jacket from Port Washington takes that one home with him. Petrie into motion again. There's a pop foul back into the seat. And then down below again. Well, the upper deck outfielders aren't doing the job today. They're letting them drop down. Petrie checking his time with Parrish. He delivers, and a strike called. He watched that one break over. A big curve struck him out. 2 down, nobody on, and Bando will bat next. That's the second strikeout for Petrie. Sal Bando flied to right, his only trip. Sunny and breezy in Milwaukee, a little bit on the cool side today. There's the ball outside. Bando, the stocky right-handed batter, waits. Here it comes. He takes a low one, 2-0, the count on Sal. Strike. He looked at the fastball, nipped the outside corner, 2-1. Only 1 hit so far for Milwaukee, a run-producing double by Romero. Bando hits the ground ball to Stammel's left. He gloves it, spins, fires to first, got him. Good play by Allen. And the Brewers go out 1-2-3 in the third. At the end of 3, at the end of 3, the Tigers 5 and the Brewers 1.
Say, Muhammad Ali, have you seen the June issue of Newsweek's new magazine, Inside Sports?
Would you believe there's not one picture of me in there, not one?
How can Inside Sports have 30 pages on boxing and not include you?
Not even my name is mentioned.
Your name's all over this issue. And there's an inside look at fight promoter Bob Arum, why he's gunning for the TV networks, and why Larry Holmes says he's going to take your head off.
Who?
Larry Holmes. And an interview with Hollywood Henderson. He wants Tom Landry to apologize so he can turn him down. and what Kansas City slugger George Brett uses to build confidence at bat.
Now get this clear. I belong in here.
Look, here's a whole picture spread on you. And here you picked the winner of the Leonard Duran fight. You see, champ, you finally made Inside Sports. How about that?
Floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. They finally got wise and included our league.
June's special boxing issue of Inside Sports on your newsstand now.
Next time I want to be on the cover.
Bob Feller had a cousin who played for the Detroit Tigers. Who was he? Hal Manders, a right-handed pitcher who was with the Tigers in 1941, 42, and 46. That's a Tiger Tidbit, and I'm Dale Conquest.
Well, the Tigers came out swinging this game and picked up 5 runs off the starting pitcher, Travis. Well, Mitchell came in and stopped the surge in the first inning. The Tigers sent 11 to the plate, starting off with a home run by Jim Lantine, his first in the major leagues. And Trammell walked, Kemp single. After Parrish fouled out, Cowan singled in the run. Watkins first was then hit by a pitch. Hebner struck out. Brookins singled in the run. And Pappy singled in 2 more. That's how the Tigers got their 5. Milwaukee came back with 1. In the second against Petrie, a 2-out walk to Lescano. He moved to second on Brohard's walk and then came home on a double by Romero. And now we go to the 4th inning. The Tigers lead the Brewers 5-1. Let's tune in on Paul Carey.
Jim Lentine to lead it off here in the 4th for the Tigers, Ernie, and the first pitch from Paul Mitchell. There's a ball in tight, Lentine's fly ball home run in the first inning got the Tigers rolling and got up on the wind and just carried into the bleachers down in the left field corner. There's a called strike on Lentine. A home run and a walk for Lentine, both in the first inning. Mitchell delivers up high. 2 balls and a strike. Mitchell utilizes off-speed pitches to a great degree. Got a pretty good fastball, though. Makes it look even better with his off-speed stuff. Another high one. 3-1 on Lentine. Jim, without his own model bats, but they are basically the same bats as used by Lou Whitaker, so that's the bats he's using now. A bounce foul off the tarp roll down behind the Tiger dugout. And Jim shaved off the mustache that he had when he showed up at Tiger Stadium, joining the Tigers. Came on the road, it was gone. He swings, there's a drive to left. Ogilvy backing up, reaching, it's over his head. Bounces against the wall. Lentine digs for second, and he goes in standing with a double. I think Ogilvy lost the flight of that ball for a moment. Benji started to drift to his left. It didn't look like he picked it up right away. And it just simply carried over his head, hit one hop on the warning track, and banged against the fence. A 2-base hit for Lentine. He continues to hit the ball hard here in this series for the Tigers. I'll bring up Alan Trammell. Alan had probably the hardest hit ball in the Tigers' first inning, fly to deep right center field. But it was the final out of the inning. It's up high for ball 1. His first time up in that inning, he walked. Lou Whitaker in the throes of a bad hitting slump, and that put extra pressure on Trammell. Lou was not getting on base. When Lou's on base, Trammell gets better pitches. Now the pitch is inside. There's a throw to second, and it's off the umpire, and there's a break for Milwaukee. The bad throw by Charlie Moore as Lentine slid back in. Yount, reaching across Lentine, couldn't get it, and it hit the umpire in the air. So Rocky Rowe should get an assist for the Brewers that time. Rocky, looking for the play, didn't see the flight of the ball, and it came and hit him and kept the ball from disappearing into center field. 2-0 count on Trammell. The hold, the pitch. He squares the bunt and bunts foul down the third base line. 5 runs on 7 hits for the Tigers. 1 run, 1 hit for Milwaukee. Trammell checking with Coach Alex Gramus to see if the bunt is still on here for the 2-1 count. 2 doubleheaders in the National League this Sunday and 1 in the American. The high stretch by Mitchell. He checks the runner at second. There's the 2-1 pitch. He squares the bunt, bunts it foul on the first base line. Now Allen unable to lay it down here to advance Lentine. Now has a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Trammell scored a run in the first inning for Allen. That's a total of 36 runs. He has been up among the leaders in the American League in runs scored now. Batting average dipping down a little bit, but 2 hits last night helped it out. There's the 2-2 pitch to Trammell. Swung out, little check swing, blooper to right center field to drop in for a hit. Lentine's being waved home, and he'll score. The throw will go into second. So Trammell picks up a run batted in. The Tigers now lead at 6-1. Allen's first hit of the ball game. The kind of a little half swing by Trammell had enough force, however, as he popped it over the head of Romero into right center field. We'll bring up Kemp. Steve safe on a bunt in the first inning that went for a hit. Took a called third strike. He was the first man Mitchell had to face. I beg your pardon. He was he led off the second inning against Mitchell and took the called third strike. A double by Lentine, a single by Trammell, and the Tigers have added a run. The look to first by Mitchell. Gantner sneaking in from third, and Kemp looks at a low one for ball 1. Brilliantly sunshiny here at Milwaukee. Every once in a while, one of those clouds will float across, and it's so noticeable, the contrast between the clouds and the sunshine on the field. The pitch. Inside, 2-0 on Kemp. Tigers heading home after this one to begin a 9-game homestand. They'll start off with the Minnesota Twins on Tuesday night. Kemp swings and fouls it behind the plate. Tigers and Twins meeting for the first time when they get together Tuesday. First time since spring training. It'll be 3 straight night games. Then the White Sox come in. Again, the first meetings of the season. 3 games over the weekend. And these Brewers will be in Detroit a week from tomorrow night for a family night, twilight doubleheader. And they'll stay around for one more game before the Tigers hit the road. Inside to Kemp, 3-1 on Steve. Mitchell, very methodical worker on the mound. Travers, of course, got in trouble early in the game, and he took plenty of time. Baltimore folks were very high on Mitchell when he was in their organization. There's a bouncer to first. As the runner went to second, Trammell is there at second. The putout made at first by Brohard. Little tapper by Kemp. Trammell was taking off on the pitch, made second easily. It serves as a sacrifice, but Kemp will be charged with the time at bat. Trammell at second now with 1 out. The batter, Lance Parrish, hitless in 2 trips. Lance hit a fly ball that Ben Ogilvy flagged down in left center field on the warning track in the second inning. And Lance hit the ball one-handed. Reached out. Still got it a long way in this park. It was a drive that would have been a home run at Tiger Stadium. Fastball is too tight. Dimensions in left center and right center, 392 feet here at County Stadium. Off the power alleys. The pitch from Mitchell. Called strike on Parrish, 1-1. Trammell at second, 1 out. Tiger fourth inning, 6-1. The Tigers have the lead. Now it's cloudy. A little easier for the hitters to see that pitch. The pitch is taken on the inside corner, a slow one, and Parrish didn't want to have anything to do with it, but it's a strike, 1-2 on Lance. All players prefer an overcast type day. Much easier to pick up a ball. There's a bouncer foul, both as a hitter to watch the pitch, also in the field. Overcast sky, the ball stands out a lot better. On a bright day like this afternoon, you only see about half the baseball. One-two count on Parrish. A high stretch by Mitchell. He checks Trammell at second. Holds to the belt, now delivers. Ground ball to the left side. Yount has it, checks the runner at second, throws to first. Parrish is out. And there are 2 out in the Tiger fourth inning. We'll bring up Al Collins. Al still plagued by that eye problem, using special drops for it. It has afflicted both eyes, made both of them quite red, and of course has hurt his vision. He sat out the game here last night. Doctor told him this type of affliction generally lasts a week, but it can last up to 3 weeks. One for 2 for Collins. He singled in a run in the first inning. Mitchell ready, pitches, and it's on the corner for a strike. Minnesota leading Toronto 5-0, and they're batting in the bottom of the 5th inning, the first of 2 games. Collins waiting on Mitchell. Takes a lot of time between pitches. Bat cocked over the shoulder. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Strike called again. He clipped off that outside corner. Mitchell taking his time, and he got in trouble early in the inning, giving up a double to Lentine, a single to Trammell. He's gotten a couple of bounce outs since that time. Nope. Time is called behind the plate. Collins had asked for time. Now we're ready to go. He wasted one outside, and Collins didn't chase it. Al stands deep in the batter's box, fairly close to the plate. Seems to grip and ungrip the bat all the time. Now the pitch. Swung on a ground ball left side. Knocked down by Gantner. He picks himself up, throws to first. It gets by Brohart. Here comes Trammell home, and holding it first is Collins. Good stop by Gantner, but his throw was a poor one. It was low. It took a skip that Brohart couldn't handle. Got by and bounced off the barrier. It will be a base hit for Al Collins, and he'll get an RBI on it as Trammell came rolling in from second with 2 outs. Well, the Tigers now have a 7-1 lead. Well, the batter will be John Walkenfuss. Collins picking up his second RBI. Now we've got an add to the scoring decision. So Trammell scores on the error, not on the single. Collins does not get an RBI. The pitch. It's low for ball 1. All right. So change everything back. Give him just 1 RBI. And an error on the throw by Gantner allowed Trammell to get the extra base, taking home. There's a called strike on Walkenfuss. 1-1 on Big John. Outside and low, 2-1 on Walking Fuss. We owe a station break to our network stations. It'll be forthcoming at the first remembrance. 2 out. Runner at first is Collins. Tigers in front 7-1, scoring twice here in the 4th inning. A total of 9 hits for Detroit. Mitchell ready. The 2-1 pitch to Fuss. Ball 3, low and away. Tigers off tomorrow in the opener of the series Tuesday night. Milt Wilcox goes for Detroit against Jeff Zahn, who has been pitching awfully well for Minnesota. Zahn had that one hitter the other day. Here's the set, the pitch. Ball 4, Walking Fuss gets a walk. A little hesitant about going down the base path, but he's on. And now, before Hebner bats, let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network. Here's Hebner. Ritchie looking for his first hit. He's over 2 with a strikeout and a bounce out to first. Tigers have 2 on, 2 out here in the top of the 4th inning. Hebner gonna loosely him, always on the back of his heels. Waits and swings. There's a drive to deep right field. Going back, Liscano. He's got the room and makes the catch. Got back quickly to haul in the liner off the bat of Hebner to end the inning. The Tigers pick up 2 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 error and 2 runners are left on base. Well, after 3.5 innings, it's now Tigers 7, Milwaukee 1. Well, one of the great bowling scorers of all time, Mary Doudna, here with Lon down from Stevens Point, Wisconsin, rooting the Tigers along here this afternoon. Gorman Thomas, recipient of a plaque before the game began and honoring him as the American League Home Run King of 1979, stepping to the plate. Gorman has 10 of those home runs this year. First time up today, Thomas flied out to right. Tigers have 7 runs on 9 hits. Milwaukee 1 run, 1 hit. They've committed 1 error that allowed a Tiger run. Thomas swings and misses. Dan Petrie had a little struggle in the 2nd inning. Tigers gave him that 5-run bulge before he even went to the mound. With 2 out, he walked 2 and gave up a ground rule double. He's gotten the last 4 men in order. On the outside corner, strike 2 called on Gorman Thomas. Our first final of the day, Philadelphia and Chicago, and that is a single game. And the Cubs shut out Philadelphia 2-0. Lynn McLaughlin, the winner, and Dick Ruthven took the loss. Wide to Gorman, 1-2. Bruce Sutter picked up a save. McLaughlin and Sutter combining on a 6-hit shutout at Philadelphia. Here's the windup and the pitch from Petrie. Check swing foul. That'll remain a ball and 2 strikes on Stormy Gormy. Oh, they've called him all sorts of nicknames over here, but they've called him Storm and Gorman after, I'm sure, after Storm and Norman, a term coined by my partner Ernie Harwell. Somebody was asking me about that the other day, if that's where it originated. As far as I know, it did. There's a half swing, and he fouled it back. I knew that Ernie was the first one to call Norm Cash Storm and Norman. Somebody was asking if there was any other Storm and Norman in baseball before that, and to my knowledge, none. Thomas swings and strikes out. Oh, that's number 3 for Petrie. Not unusual for Gorman to strike out.
You know, I can't even think of any other Normans, whether there was Storman or not. I guess there have been some. Bill Norman is the last name. But
well, how about Norman Seaburn, although you call him Norm Seaburn?
Yeah, Norm. Nobody ever called him Norman,
no,
did he?
No. Here's Benji. There's a hopper toward first. Hebner fields it, underhands to Petrie for the putout, and there are 2 down. The Brewers' 4th inning. Yeah, at times I imagine Bill Norman was storming. Fan favorite here in Milwaukee, Sixto Lizcano striding to the plate. Sixto walked his first time up. He scored the Brewers' run. Dan Petrie on the mound for the Tigers. Into the motion, the pitch to Sixto, and he takes a strike. Good stiff wind blowing out from the plate, generally toward left field here this afternoon. Fouled into the dirt. 1-1 on, or it's a 2-strike count on Lizcano. They've added mezzanine level seats here at County Stadium above the new auxiliary scoreboard along the line down near the corner. Actually, those are football press box seats. The Packers play here, up high for a ball. But they become desired reserve seats for baseball games. Fouled back into the stands. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes on Lizcano. Dan didn't have a decision his last outing. That was this past Tuesday in Detroit. He pitched against Seattle, went 8 innings. Scattered 8 hits, allowed only 2 runs. Tigers won that game, extra innings. There's a pop foul behind the plate. Parrish coming back. He's got the room, makes the catch. And that's all for the Brewers in the 4th inning. They go down 1-2-3 after 4 innings. It's the Tigers 7, the Brewers 1. Tigers coming to bat here in the 5th inning. With Ernie Harwell, this is Paul Carey at County Stadium in Milwaukee. The Brewers have taken the first 2 games of this series, 8-4 and 5-3. The Tigers, with 5 runs in the first inning here this afternoon, now have a 7-1 lead. Paul Mitchell relieved Bill Travers in the first inning, got the final out of the inning after walking the first man he faced. The Tigers managed to get through in the 4th inning with a couple of runs against Mitchell. One of them, however, an unearned run, as Trammell managed to score on a throwing error by Gantner at third. Mitchell has completed his warm-up tosses. It'll be Brookins, Pappy, and Lentine. 3 scheduled batters for the Tigers here in the 5th inning, all of them with hits. Brookins, stepping in, has 2 hits. Lentine has 2. Al Collins has 2 for the Tigers. Tigers have a total of 9. Now the sun flooding the field as Mitchell goes into the motion. Here's the pitch. Swung on. There's a hard one-hopper to Young. He scoops it, throws to first, and got him. Good play by Robin on a tough sinking liner. Just barely touched the ground, and he took that real short hop. I'll bring up Stan Pappy. Pappy swinging the bat very well since he joined the Tigers. At 3 for 4 the first game he played. Pinch hit, tied a ball game with a single, and he's back in action today, 1 for 2 and 2 RBIs. On the corner for a strike. Well, Pappy has batted 7 times for the Tigers and has 5 hits. He has driven in 6 runs. The pitch to Stan. Strike called. 2 quick ones on Pappy. That was a good breaking ball from Mitchell. Now Stan's going to step back out and stare at the plate. See if it's still the same size it used to be. Pappy wearing number 9 in the Tiger uniform. Into the motion. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fly ball to center field. Thomas going back, still going back, turning on it. Makes the catch. That ball took off. He had to go to the edge of the warning track. Wind helped that one, and Thomas turned one way, then reversed direction. And got there in time. He's a fine center fielder. 2 outs. That'll bring up Jim Lentine. Lentine with a total of 6 hits in this series now after going hitless. His appearances at Tiger Stadium earlier in the week. There's a called strike on Lentine. 2 for 2 today. He homered to lead off the game, then walked his second time up in the first inning. In the fourth, he led off with a double and scored a run. It's a ball wide. 1-1 now on Lentine. Two out, bases empty in the Tiger fifth inning. There's the windup by Mitchell. He delivers. Ball low, 2-1. Right-hander Mitchell fires a ball 3. It was low over the plate, but down too low. Mitchell has walked 2, struck out 1. On deck is Trammell. The 3-1 pitch. Swung on and popped foul. That may be in play. The wind may bring it back to Charlie Moore. Looks like he's got the room. Makes the catch. Step away from the box seats. Well, that's all for the Tigers in the fifth inning. For the second time in the game, they go down 1-2-3. After 4.5 innings, Tigers 7, the Brewers 1.
If you want the gift you give Dad this Father's Day to be useful and appreciated, True Value Hardware Stores suggest you give quality Master Mechanic tools. Hi, Pat Summerall to tell you Master Mechanic tools are quality tools designed for the professional, but priced for the homeowner. Like the Master Mechanic 14-piece half-inch socket set for just $34.95. Or choose the Master Mechanic 5-piece screwdriver set with 4 standard tips plus 1 Phillips tip, all for just $6.99. Master Mechanic tools from True Value Hardware Stores are made in the USA from the finest materials to precision standards. And each tool carries with it a customer satisfaction policy that assures good performance or a free replacement. Give Dad the professional edge in the tools he uses with Master Mechanic tools sold only at participating True Value Hardware Stores and home centers. To save gas, you won't have to drive far for your hardware and houseware needs. If you're looking for value, service, and selection, you'll find them nearby at any one of the more than 5,000 True Value Hardware Stores and home centers. And don't forget, they're located nationwide.
Dan Petrie ready to face the Brewers here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Has allowed just 1 hit, a ground rule double by rookie Ed Romero in the second inning. That brought home a run, however. It'll be Mark Brohard leading off the fifth inning, followed by Ed Romero and Charlie Moore. Brohard, very mature-looking 24-year-old. He just turned 24. The pitch from Petrie is low and inside, ball 1. Mark walked his first time up against Petrie. Mark swings and misses. A 1-1 count. Now, Lou Chapman is a busy man around here, despite the fact that he retired from the baseball beat of the Milwaukee Sentinel. Bill Wrighton, there's a check swing. Apparently, it is ruled a ball. 2-1 on Brohard. Chapman spent 31 years with the Milwaukee Sentinel, but now working for UPI over here in Milwaukee. Up high, 3-1 on Brohard. The windup by Petrie. He delivers, popped in the air, foul off third. Brookins coming over by the tarp roll. He's got the room, makes the catch. Wind doing a little, giving that ball a little dance in the sky, and Tom had to back up the last second to grab it, 1 down. Here's Romero, who owns the only hit off Petrie. He hit one up the gap in left center field, hit on the warning track, 1 high hop into the stands. Petrie delivers outside. From Placentia, California, Dan Petrie. There's ball 2, a high to Romero. Big doings at Tiger Stadium next Friday night, Polish-American night. Called strike on Romero. 1 out, nobody on in the Brewers' 5th inning. 7-1, the Tigers have the lead. Petrie ready. The pitch is high. 3-1. American Legion Day coming up Saturday afternoon. And it's helmet day here today, but it'll be helmet day at Tiger Stadium next Sunday. Swung on, lined foul down the left field line into the stands. Full count now on Ed Romero. Well, Romero up with the Brewers back in '77, but stayed in the minors the last 2 seasons. Ground ball right back to Petrie. He grabs it, flips it over to Hebner, and there are 2 outs. Good play by Petrie. We're getting some dark clouds in here. All this crowing about the great weather and the bad weather moving out. It looks like we've got some heavy stuff coming in. I'll bring up Charlie Moore, the Brewer catcher. Charlie played quite a bit in the outfield. A couple seasons ago, 3 seasons ago, but now strictly doing the catching. The pitch to him, and it's up high. Petrie getting behind the hitters here in this inning. 3-0 on one batter, 3-1 on another. The pitch to Moore. Strike called, 1-1 on Charlie. Outfield swing to the left on Moore. Open stance at the plate. He takes it low and away for a ball. Very open stance by Charlie, but not nearly as exaggerated as Brian Downing of the Angels, as an example, who practically faces the pitcher. Swung on, popped in the air out to short left field. Trammell backing up. Here comes Walkenfuss behind, and Trammell makes the catch. Walkenfuss put the brakes on. Almost collided. The Brewers down in order for the 3rd straight inning after 5. Tigers 7, Milwaukee 1.
I love cars. It's a real simple thing, but I love cars. So I take real good care of mine because my good car is a friend of mine. Yes, I really love cars. Well, if you love cars like I do, you really ought to do what I do and spend a little time with your friendly Marathon man. Let him fix you so good and treat you so great that you'll get so that you can hardly wait to give your car the very best care you can. Your Marathon man.
Go get together with the man who does it better. See a friendly Marathon man.
Because he loves cars. And whether you love cars or not, you really ought to take care of yours. And even if you hate cars, I suggest you go ahead and give your car the best, because cars are cared for a run a whole lot better. And when you do, you might find yourself sad.
I love cars.
Marathon Oil Company. We love cars.
This game is being brought to you by the Plumbing and Heating Contractors of Metro Detroit, Realty World of Michigan, by Emery and your Marathon dealers and distributors. By El Producto Cigars, Midway Airlines, and Murray's Discount Auto Stores. By the Detroit News and by Anheuser-Busch Busch Beer. By Inside Sports Magazine. General Motors and Bonanza Family Restaurant. By Malox Plus tablets and by True Value Hardware Stores. Now, more Tiger baseball action with Ernie Harwell and Paul Carey.
Oh, the Tigers are going to see a different pitcher here when they come to bat in the 6th inning. It'll be the veteran right-hander Reggie Cleveland taking over. Paul Mitchell did a good job in quieting the Tiger bats in that 1st inning and getting the final out. Mitchell wound up going 4 1/3 innings. He did allow 2 runs and gave up a total of 4 hits. One of the runs scored off Mitchell was unearned. He walked 2 and struck out 1. Reggie Cleveland on the mound now for the Milwaukeeans. Cleveland so far this season has won 3 and lost 2. This will be his 20th appearance, all in relief. He has 3 saves to his credit, an ERA of 4.71. Alan Trammell will be the first to face Reggie Cleveland. He swings, and there's a base hit to right center field. Out over the glove of Ed Romero. Trammell picks up his second hit, both of the same nature. The soft liners into right center field. Hit number 10 for the Tigers. That'll bring up Steve Kemp. We've got a National League final now. Single game at Cincinnati. The Reds shut out San Diego 1-0. As Charlie Lee Brent went all the way with a 3-hitter, the rookie left-hander for the Reds won his 5th game. Randy Jones, the loser for San Diego, a tough one. 1-0. The Reds over San Diego. Strike called on Steve Kemp. Difference in the game was a second-inning home run by Dan Dreesen for the Reds. Trammell at first, nobody out here in the Tigers' 6th inning. Kemp swings and misses on the soft curve. Steve was way out in front of that one. One for 3 today for Steve. He cuts and misses, struck him out. Cleveland strikes out Kemp. That'll bring up Lance Parrish. Parrish hitless in 3 trips. Talked to Kemp before the game. Steve still has that problem with the right foot and the left wrist. He keeps that wrist tightly wrapped. Right now, it's the wrist more than anything else. And he figures he will be in the outfield on Tuesday when the Tigers come home.
2-1, 2-1.
Parrish stepping in. Trammell at first, 1 away. The set, the pitch. Fouled back into the stands. Reggie, now 32 years old. Milwaukee picked him up in a trade before last season. Into a high stretch. Parrish bends away. It's inside for ball 1. Originally, he was born in Swift Current, Saskatchewan, Reggie Cleveland. Trivia answers when you list Canadians in the majors. High for a ball. It's 2-1 now on Parrish. Reggie's got a ball. It was a little faster before. Good slider. And has an excellent changeup. Here's the set, the pitch. Swung on it, popped up. That's out near the mound, over toward first base. Second baseman Romero is coming in for it. Makes the catch. And there are 2 outs. Al Collins will be stepping in, but let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
This is WJR Detroit. Jay Roberts has an ear for music, great music. Join Jay weeknights at 11:30 for Night Flight 76.
Here's Collins. Al has a pair of hits in this game. He's 2 for 3. Drove in a run in the first inning. Trammell still at first with 2 down. Called strike on Collins. Cleveland just won 1 game last year, and that was against the Tigers. Time called. On Inspect the Baseball, Reggie picked up 4 saves last season. His 1 victory came in relief against the Tigers. Pitched very well in long relief. Lost 5 games. Cleveland ready. The pitch to Collins. High for a ball. It's 1-1 on L. Collins has hit safely in every game he's appeared as a Tiger. There's a hopper to the left side. Gantner makes the stop. Goes to second for the force on Trammell. And that retires the Tigers. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left. The Brewers come up for their bats in the 6th inning with a score, Tigers 7, Milwaukee 1.
The American Cowboy. He's been sung about, written about. There's Hollywood's version, and then there's the real thing. Lots of long hours of hard work. Roping calves, wrangling horses, herding cattle. In all kinds of weather, all year round. Being a cowboy is a lot more than a $25 Stetson, a $100 pair of boots, and a $15 pair of jeans. And a real cowboy wouldn't trade any of it for a life in the city. Here, then, is a Busch beer to the best of the West. To the American cowboys, the real American heroes. Head for the beer that always goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Busch. Brewed just one way, the natural way. For a taste that's always as smooth as its name. Head for Busch. Head for the mountain. Head for Busch. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Dan Petrie listening to face the Brewers in the bottom of the 6th inning. He has a 6-run lead, 7-1 Tigers. On the minor league level, Evansville had its 5-game winning streak snapped by Omaha last night, 6-4. The game was shortened by rain to 7 innings. Ralph Troil was the starter and took the loss. Rick Leach had a couple of hits, including a home run. Hector Cruz had 2 hits. I don't think that's Hector. I think that's Henry Cruz. Very common name in baseball, Cruz. Ready to go in the 6th inning, top of the batting order. Jim Gantner leading it off, left-handed batter. And the first pitch to him is low. Montgomery at Knoxville last night got a victory, 4-2. Howard Bailey went all the way for the 2nd straight game. Check swing at the strike on Gantner. Bailey, who was helping out in spring training with the Tigers as a non-roster invitee, has now won 6 and lost 6 for Roy Mantika's team at Montgomery. Inside, 2-1 now on Gantner. In that Montgomery victory, Eddie Gates had 4 hits and drove in 3 runs. The pitch to Gantner. Ball 3. Lakeland had a doubleheader last night. I think we had both scores on the air, but no details. They played at Vero Beach. Lakeland won the opener 2-1 on a 2-run homer by Mike Laga. Steve Dunn went all the way, but they lost the second game 10-9 despite scoring 9 runs in the first inning. There's a pop-up down the left field line. Trammell coming over behind Brookins. Now Walkenfuss calls for it. Makes the catch. It is a tough day to play these high fly balls and pop-ups because of what the wind is doing to the ball. One out, Robin Yount stepping in. Overcast skies after bragging about what a beautiful day it was earlier. And it's turning cooler. Yount is 0 for 2. He hit a fly to deep left field. Back to Walkenfuss up against the wall in the first inning. Took a called 3rd strike in the 3rd inning. There's a called 1st strike on Robin. Petrie kicks and fires. Swung on, line to right field. Coming on is Collins. He makes the catch. Was a fastball by Petrie. Almost got it by Yount, but he managed to get pretty good wood on it. He stuck the bat out and lined it to right. 2 out of the 6th inning. The batter now, Sal Bando. Dick Davis was in the original lineup, posted by George Bamberger as the designated hitter today, but Dick strained his wrist And he had to be omitted. Salbando put in. It's a strike called. He tried to check his swing. They checked down with the first base umpire, Larry McCoy. Said he went across the plate. Petrie working quickly, comes back. Swung on and missed. 2 strikes. Some of those wrappers from the helmets blowing around the field in this wind. The 2-strike pitch to Bando. He struck him out on 3 straight pitches. Bando cutting and missing. 4 strikeouts for Petrie. And Petrie has set down the side in order for 4 straight innings now. After 6 innings of play, it's the Tigers 7, Milwaukee 1.
Ask any baseball coach and he'll tell you that the name of the game is percentages. When to take a pitch, when to bunt, who to put in, left-hander, right-hander. Well, percentages play a big role at General Motors, too, especially when it comes to gas mileage. Case in point. As a group, GM's full-size Chevrolets, Pontiacs, Oldsmobiles, Buicks, and Cadillacs show an impressive 41% average fuel economy improvement over 1975 models based on combined EPA city highway estimates. Now, that's a percentage anybody would like. And along with that fuel efficiency improvement, you can still get all the room, comfort, and convenience GM's full-size cars are famous for. But there are other reasons for looking into a GM full-size car today. GM dealers have a good selection to choose from, and they're making deals like you can't believe. So if you really need a full-size car, go see your GM dealer. He's pitching today, and he's got good stuff, too.
What was Lou Whitaker's original position? Lou was originally a third baseman, but in '77 at Montgomery made the switch to second. That's a Tiger Tidbit, and I'm Jerry Whitman.
Overcast, cloudy day right now at the stadium and cooling down. The wind picking up as John Walkenfuss steps to the plate to start things off for the Tigers here in the 7th inning. Reggie Cleveland, the 3rd Milwaukee pitcher, ready to go to work and ready to go back to work. Here's Ernie Harwell.
Thanks, Paul Carey. Hi again, everybody. The right-hander Cleveland delivers, and Walkenfuss takes the ball outside. John has been hit by a pitch, fly to center and draw the base on balls. The Tigers got 5 in the 1st and 2 in the 4th. They lead it 7-1 in the 7th inning. There's a strike called, a fastball in the outside corner, 1-1 on Walkenfuss. Lentine 2 hits, Trammell has 2, Cowens has 2, Brookins has 2. They face the attack. There's the ball outside, 2-1. Lentine started the game with a home run that triggered a 5-run surge for the Tigers. They got 5 in that 1st inning on 5 hits. Here's a strike, and it is a 2-2 count on him. Lentine home run, then Cowan singled in the run, Brookins singled in the run in that inning, and Stan Pappy singled in 2. It's a ball outside, full count on him. The Tigers scored their 2 in the 4th inning on a double by Lentine. A single by Trammell got him home. And then Trammell scored on a single and an error. There's a line shot to left. Here comes Ogilvie. Can't get it. Plays it on one hop. And Walkenfuss gets his first hit of the day. Hit number 2 for the Tigers off the 3rd pitcher, Cleveland. The Tigers without hits in this game, and there are only 2 of them. One of them coming up now, Hebner, and the other one is Parrish. Hebner has struck out, bounced to first, and fly to right. Seven runs, 11 hits, and no errors for Detroit. Milwaukee 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error. Final game of the series, Milwaukee won the first 2. Tigers head home when this one's over. They'll open up a set with the Minnesota Twins beginning Tuesday night. 3-game series. Slow curve from Reggie Cleveland outside, ball 1 on Hebner. Brookins, who's hit the ball hard today, waiting on deck. It's a fastball high, 2-0 the count. Milwaukee with a strong hitting team. Their chief weakness seems to be the bullpen. And not too strong in the starting line of pitchers. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's a strike. He got a fastball over. Cleveland to the set position. Pitches. Hebner hits a high pop-up into the infield. Who'll get it? Here comes Romero, the second baseman, and he makes the catch at the mound. The third baseman, Gantner, came over. He collided with the pitcher, Cleveland. Brohard, the first baseman, was there. He stayed out of the fracas. And finally, Romero makes the putout. Oh, everybody was getting into that act. So, one on first, one out, and Brookins will be the batter. Brookins has had 2 singles and was thrown out on a sharp hopper to Yount, the shortstop. Brohard holding at first with the walk-in pass, and Brookins takes an outside curve, ball 1. Minnesota leads Toronto in their first game. They're in the 9th inning of that first game at Minnesota. 5-0, the Twins ahead of the Blue Jays. Cleveland is ahead of Chicago, 7-1. They've completed 6 in Chicago in a single game. Brookins hits a bounding ball to Yount's right. He gloves it, throws to second, 1, relay to first, not in time. It's a force out, Yount to Romero. Will be relayed to Brohard, not in time to get the batter Brookins. That'll make it 2 down, 1 on, and Pappy will be the next man to bat for the Tigers. Stan Siegel in 2 runs in the first inning, hit in the fourth out, the third in the third. Flied deep to Gorman Thomas in center field his last time up in the 5th inning. California leads Baltimore 2-1. They've completed 1 inning out in California. There's a strike call. Boston and Oakland, we've got the pitchers in on that one now. Eckersley against Kingman, but no score to report. And there are 2 night games tonight in the American League. Kansas City, Texas, and New York at Seattle. Pappy waiting, and he takes a high one, 1-1. That's the National League Finals if you missed them. Chicago beat the Phillies 2-0. Cincinnati 1-0 over San Diego on a Dreesen home run. Montreal won the first from the Cardinals 6-4. Here's a cut and a miss by Pappy, 1-2. L.A. and Atlanta start a little after 6 o'clock after night game. San Francisco and Houston, a night game. And the Mets are leading 6-4 over the Pirates in their first game in New York in the 7th inning. Bounding ball to third, gloved by Gantner. The throw over to second baseman Marrero, and the side retired. Well, the Tigers get 1 hit, and that's all. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We move to the last half of the 7th inning in Milwaukee. The Tigers 7, the Brewers 1.
Every time your maintenance crew punches in, you could be wasting money.
Well, this copyrighted broadcast is made possible by the Detroit Baseball Club and the American League and is intended for the private, non-commercial use of our listening audience. Rebroadcast or other use of the description and account of this game is prohibited unless prior consent is obtained from station WJR Detroit, the Detroit Baseball Club, and the American League. The announcers for this broadcast are selected and employed by radio station WJR and the Detroit Baseball Club. Ernie?
Sparky Addison made a change now. He set Stegman into play left field. Wackenfuss has moved from left to first base. That puts Hebner out of the game. And Gorman Thomas, the home run leader last year, stepped up now to lead off for the Brewers in the 7th inning. The Tigers ahead of him, 7-1. Milwaukee got his run in the 2nd inning on a couple of 2-out walks to Lestano and Brohard, and a run-producing double by Romero. In every other inning, they've been set down 1-2-3 by Petrie. Right-hander against the right-hander, 7th inning, the last half of it getting underway. Thomas takes, it's a ball low, ball 1. The crowd coming to life a little bit now here in the 7th. Thomas hits a long drive to left. That's out of here. It's a home run for Gorman Thomas. Number 12. Number 11 for Gorman Thomas. It makes it 7-2. He hit that one, no doubt about it. As soon as it left the bat, it was gone. So that stops the streak of 13 straight outs recorded by Petrie. Thomas sending in the second Milwaukee run to cut the Tiger lead to 5 runs, 7-2. Ogilvy, the home run leader in the American League, steps up now. Ben is 0 for 2 in this game, and he fouls it away. Petrie coming back with a fastball. Bounced out each time to the first baseman. Another fastball. This one's high. 1-1 the count of him. Swing, and there's a foul to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Vin Ogilvy. Milwaukee's left only 2 runners on. They left them both in that second inning. Petrie has been a strong pitcher here so far. Changeup hits in the dirt right at the plate. 2-2 on Banana Bend. Outfield deep, pulled to right on Ogilvy. Brookins is very wide of the bag at third. There's a long foul fly upstairs. Pulled into the right field seats, and the count stays on Ogilvy at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Benji leaning and waiting on a 2-2 pitch. Swinging a bounding ball to first. It's foul outside the bag. Well, Peach is going to the fastball now, just trying to blow it by him. However, Ogilvy was able to pull that pitch and hit it sharply but foul down the first base side. 7 runs, 11 hits for the Tigers. They've made no errors. The Brewers have 2 runs on 2 hits. They've made 1 error. Here's a bounding ball wide at first, knocked down by Wackenfuss. Throw to Petrie. Good play. He got him. John dived to his right, came up with it out of the infield dirt. Petrie covered, took the throw, and Ogilvy is out for the 3rd straight time. The first baseman of the pitcher covering. Here's Sixto Lescano, the right-handed batting right fielder. He's walked and scored a run and fouled the catcher. Got a final now from that Minnesota first game. The Twins had 5 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors. Toronto got a run in the 9th inning. 1 run, 4 hits, and 2 errors. The Twins win it. Erickson the winner, and Jefferson takes the loss. Save for Corbett. Here's the ball outside. That is the first of a doubleheader at Minnesota. 7-2. The Tigers in the lead here in Milwaukee in the 7th inning. Lescano swings. There's a long drive to right. Going back is Cowens, and he can't get it. It's off the wall. Lescano going for 2. He'll have a stand-up double. The ball hit at the 392-foot mark. A 2-base hit. The 3rd hit by the Brewers. They've all been for extra bases. A double by Romero, not going to run in the 2nd. A home run by Thomas led off here in the 7th. And now a 1-out double by Lescano. Mark Brohard will be the next man to bat. He's on a walk and foul to 3rd.
Second media today determined 40,892.
40,892 is the paid attendance. They've had an increase in attendance with each succeeding game here in the 3. And the finale draws 40,892 to County Stadium, Milwaukee. Here's Brohard, the right-handed batting first baseman. It's the ball outside. Now this crowd silenced by that 5-run first inning by the Tigers. has come to life here in the 7th inning. He swings at a bounding ball to short. Chamel gloves it. Here's the throw to first to Wackenfuss in time to get Brohard. Mascano bluffs back to second, stays there. 2 out, 1 on. The next man to bat will be Romero, and Ed had a double and a bounce out of the pitcher his 2 turns. Most of the defensive work by the Tigers has been done within the infield. There have been a total of 5 outfield putouts. But a lot of ground balls. Kovic and Lopez are working in the Tiger bullpen right now. Romero takes a high, hard one from Peaches Petrie. Ball 1. Next Tiger action, Tuesday night at Tiger Stadium. The Twins will be the opposing team. Here's a ball high, 2-0. Very strong breeze is blowing out toward left. Ed Romero waiting on a 2-0 delivery from Petrie. Swings at a bounding ball off the glove. Brookins picked up by Chamel. Throw to Wackenfuss. Got him. Good play. Good recovery by Chamel inside, retired. That'll be the third baseman of the shortstop to the first baseman for the out. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 man left, and at the end of 7 in Milwaukee, the Tigers 7, Milwaukee 2. He comes in with a new pitcher with the Tigers moving into bat of the 8th inning. Tigers lead them 7-2, and the new pitcher, John Flynn, the former Oriole right-hander. He replaces Cleveland. He becomes the 4th pitcher used by manager George Bamberger today. Travis started, Mitchell in the 1st, Cleveland in the 6th, and Flynn taking over in the 8th. Cleveland, the last pitcher to work, went 2 innings, gave up no runs, allowed a couple of hits, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 1. The first 5 runs were scored off Travis. The next 2 were charged to Mitchell. And now the 4th pitcher on the mound, that's John Flynn, F-L-Y-N-N. Right-hander from California. Up with Baltimore in 78 and 79. And an apprentice carpenter in the offseason. Mr. Flynn will face the top of the Tiger batting order. Jim Lentine, who's had a home run, a walk, a double, and a foul up for the catcher. A later report now from Chicago. Baines hit a White Sox home run in the 7th inning, his 5th. But the Indians still have a lead over Chicago. It is now 7-2 Cleveland, with Cleveland batting in the 8th. California had a 2-1 lead over Baltimore in the 2nd, but Knapp has relieved Ossie in the 2nd inning. Baltimore is still batting, so they may be acting up there a little bit. Boston and Oakland are scoreless at the end of 1. That game out in Oakland. And the final we gave you earlier, Minnesota beat Toronto in their first game 5-1. Mayberry got his 12th home run for Toronto in the 9th inning to spare them the blanking. In the National League, these are all finals. Cincinnati 1, San Diego nothing. Chicago 2, Philadelphia nothing. Montreal 6, St. Louis 4. That's the first of 2. And in the game in New York, the Mets have a 6-4 lead over Pittsburgh. The Mets are batting in the 8th inning. That's the first of 2, and that first game was delayed by rain. The other games are twilight and night games in the National League, and we got 2 night games in the American League. Here's Lentine to lead it off against the new pitcher, but the new pitcher, Flynn, has not yet completed his tune-up tosses. So let's pause here briefly for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
This is WJR Detroit. A lot of wit, a lot of music, a lot of information. It's Jim Davis on the Afternoon Music Hall. Be listening weekday afternoons at 3:15.
John Flynn on the mound. Jim Lentine stepping in to lead off in the 8th inning. He's had a home run and a double. He's been the big gun for the Tigers. They've had a total of 11 hits, and they lead it 7-2 in the 8th. Right-hander Flynn pitches. There's a bounding ball to short. Gloved there by Robin Yount. The throw to first. Got him. 1 pitch and 1 out. Alan Trammell's had a walk and a couple of singles. 2 for 3 officially for Allen. Both his singles over the second baseman's head into short right. Tigers are flying back tonight. Have an off day tomorrow. And open up a 9-game homestand Tuesday night against the Minnesota Twins. Try to get out there with us Tuesday. Flynn pitches, and Trammell takes a low fastball, ball 1. Cloudy skies now here at County Stadium, Milwaukee. Here's another one low, and the count is 2-0 on Allen. RBIs for the Tigers. Lentine has 1, Cowens has 1, Brookins has 1, and Pappy has a couple. Scored 1 on an error. There's a strike called on the Trammell. 2-1 the count on him. Charlie Moore is going out to talk with his new pitcher, John Flynn. Milwaukee has an off day tomorrow also, and then Texas comes in for a 3-game series here. The Tigers entertain Milwaukee at the last part of their homestand. Something's happened out there at the mound, I think. Here comes Denkinger out to check. Kurt Rayer, the trainer for Milwaukee, is coming out. Here comes Bamberger, the Milwaukee manager. It may be that Flynn has hurt himself. Rayer is talking with him. Bamberger has now reached the mound. Here comes Borhard, the first baseman, over. He wants to investigate. Terry has the glasses, and can we get a medical report through the binoculars?
No, I can't read lips, and I just don't know what's being said.
Looks like we're making a change, though. Denking has made a motion to the bullpen, so they're going to get another pitcher, I think.
I think it's a left-hander coming on from the way Bamberger made the sign, but it's like Charlie Moore was using his arm like he had hurt the shoulder in turning over the ball and trying to release the curveball that he might have had a little problem with the shoulder. I'm not sure. Not pretending to any part of the anatomy out there. Rayer, Bamberger just talking. Now Rayer's walking off with John Flynn. Well, Flynn's appearance was a very brief one. He really completed pitching to one man. That was Jim Lentine, who bounced out short. Got a count of 2 balls and 1 strike on Alan Trammell, and Flynn will leave. And Jerry Augustine, the left-hander, will come on now. Augustine came on to get the final out in Friday night's game. And, in fact, in that game, he relieved Flynn. And Augustine picked up a save on that occasion. So I imagine they'll give Augustine as much time as he desires to get ready here. The umpire out there in the conference as well. Some sort of an injury has occurred with John Flynn. So the 5th pitcher used by the Brewers here this afternoon will be Jerry Augustine, coming on with nobody on and 1 out and a 2-1 count on Alan Trammell in the Tiger 8th inning. Augustine with 1 victory, 2 defeats. He has a couple of saves, one of them picked up Friday night, an earned run average of 4.91. Sparky Anderson is coming out of the Tiger dugout now to ask Don Denkinger what did occur. And he's getting the explanation. It seems to satisfy Sparky, nodding his head, and he'll be heading back into the Tiger dugout, satisfied that all is well. This will give us a chance to pass along information again about that special program set up by the American Dental Association in conjunction with Major League Baseball. It's a contest involving American children. It's going to be winding up at the end of this month. And the prizes, an all-expense-paid trip to the All-Star Game in Los Angeles, July 8th, for 2 youngsters and their parents or guardians. The young winners will have a chance to meet the All-Stars firsthand, and they'll serve as honorary bat boy or bat girl for the American and National League teams. Contest information and entry forms for what is called the first annual honorary All-Star Bat Boy, Bat Girl Fun Stakes are available only from participating dentists who are members of the ADA. A self-addressed Fun Stakes entry form is included in a 24-page booklet that features baseball tips and some dental health advice from some of the top players and managers in the business, including Fred Lynn, Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, Ron Guidry, and Tiger manager Sparky Anderson. Children ages 8 to 13 are eligible, and the 2 honorary bat boys or bat girls will be selected June 27th in a random drawing. So you better hurry if you want to be a part of that contest. All entries must be received no later than June 26th. And they are, as I say, available to participating dentists who are members of the ADA. Alan Trammell stepping in to lead it off, or rather not to lead it off, but to greet the new pitcher, Jerry Augustine. Ernie?
2-1 is the count on Trammell. 2 balls and a strike. The left-hander Augustine, a native of Wisconsin, taking over here. 7-2 Tigers lead. And there's a bounding ball up the middle. Trammell gets his 3rd straight hit. Allen hit that first pitch, served up by Augustine, and wrapped a single through the middle. Here comes Kemp. He singled in the first inning. He struck out twice and bounced to first base after that. Augustine in his 5th year with the Brewers. He was on the American League All-Rookie team his first season. (7-2) Tigers lead. 8th inning in Milwaukee. Kemp takes a very wide curve from the left-hander, ball 1. Brohard, the first baseman, holding on the bag with Trammell. There's a big curve that comes over, but it's low. 2-0 the count on Steve. Milwaukee won the first 2 games of this series with some lefty hitting. The Tigers are the team doing the hitting in this one, and they lead 7-2. Here's a foul back to the screen off the bat of Kemp, and the count is 2-1 on him. Tigers got out in front with 5 in the opening inning. They added 2 in the 4th. They have led all the way. Milwaukee got a run in the 2nd and picked up 1 in the 7th. Now Augustine goes to the left-hand set, delivers. It is a ball high to Kemp, high and in tight on him, 3-1. 1 home run on each side. Lentine led off the game with a home run for the Tigers, his first in the major leagues. And Gorman Thomas hit number 11 for Milwaukee in the 7th. It's a foul fly up this way. It'll be out of play. 3-2, the count on Kemp. Steve getting back into the batter's box. Time called for the moment by Den King of the plate umpire. Now we're ready for action again. 3-2 pitch coming. There goes Trammell. The ball is taken for ball. It's a base on ball to Kemp. Trammell moves on down to second. Augustine's pitched to 2 batters, giving up a single and a walk. Oh, the Tigers threaten to score more now and add to their 7-2 lead over the Brewers. Here's Parrish, the only starting man in the lineup without a hit. Hebner, who didn't have a hit, has left the ball game. All the others in the starting lineup with at least 1. Fastball low and away, ball 1 on Lance. Lance is foul to the catcher, fly to left, bounce to short, and pop to second. He swings with a bombing ball to third, knocked down by Gantner. Race for the bag in time at third. Camel was forced by the third baseman unassisted, who made a quick recovery behind the bag. Lance is safe at first, and Kemp takes second. Runners at first and second and 2 down. That'll leave it up to Cowens, who's had 2 singles and 4 trips. Now, Gantner able to make that play because he was playing deep and near the line here in the 8th inning. So here's Cowens at the plate. He's not quite ready. Trying to settle himself in there against the left-hander Augustine. Jerry Augustine working against Al Cowens. Al takes a half cut. He held up in time. Ball 1. The pitch dipped low. Joaquin Fuss is the next Tiger batter here in the 8th. 2 on and 2 out. Cowens takes it low and outside. 2-0. That was Augustine's fastball. Now the left-hander ready, kicks and deals. Cowan looks for the ball wide. 3-0 the count on him. Overcast skies now at County Stadium. Over 40,000 paying to see the action this afternoon on Helmet Day in Milwaukee. Cowens waits on the 3-0 pitch and takes a strike. That was a breaking ball. Kemp on second. Parrish with a big lead off of first. Tigers lead 7-2 over the Brewers in the 8th inning. Cowan swings, and there's a foul fly out of play over on the first base side. That'll bring us to the full count with 2 outs. Al Cowens digging in on the 3-2 pitch coming to him. Kemp and Parrish will take off and go here with 2 down. Well, they start. Here's the pitch. It is low. That will load the bases. So a single and 2 walks have loaded them. And the batter will be John Wackenfuss, who has been hit by a pitch, walk, had a single and fly to center. It gives John 1 for 2 officially this afternoon. Tigers lead it 7-2, 8th inning. They've loaded the bases with 2 down against the left-hander Augustine. He delivers. It is a ball outside on John Bilton Wackenfuss. Stegman waiting on deck for his first turn bat of this game. Infield back, the outfield left and deep. He swings and misses. 1-1 the count on John. Augustine checking his sign with Charlie Moore. Works again. Wackenfuss takes. It is a ball in too close to curve. 2-1. Kemp, Parrish, Cowens on the bases, low and outside, 3-1, as Augustine's having some control problems. All the bases are loaded, 2 out of the 3-1 count. Charlie Moore yells out to his pitcher. Here's John waiting, and the pitch is a strike on the outside corner. It's a full count on Wackenfuss. Set by Augustine. He deals. Here's a line shot base hit. Here comes Kemp to score. Parrish rounding third. He'll come home. The throw to third. Cowan slides in safely. The Tigers get 2. lead it 9-2 on the bases loaded single by Joaquin Fuss. Oh, they continue their hitting assault. Picking up 2 there on the bases loaded single. Runners are at first and third, 2 down, and Stegman will be the batter. He's hitting .200 with a couple of home runs and 7 RBIs. First time up for Dave Stegman. Outfield is straight away on him. Augustine steps and deals, and Stegman takes the ball high. 9-2. The Tigers lead the Brewers. We're in the 8th inning in Milwaukee. 13 Tiger hits have rung off their bats. Here's a foul upstairs to the first base side. 1-1 the count on Stegman. Here it comes. He takes the high one, 2-1 the count on him. Augustine's been getting behind on these hitters. He's walked a couple in this inning. Now stretches, delivers. Here's a miss as Stegman took a cut of the letter high pitch, 2-2. Brookins is on deck for Detroit. They lead 9-2 in the 8th inning over Milwaukee. Pitch is on the way. He struck him out swinging. Stegman goes down on strike. The Tigers get a couple. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors. They lead 2. We go to the last half of the 8th inning. Detroit 9, Milwaukee 2.
Some people love sports just like we do. That's why we do what we do. We bring these things to you.
Some people love sports just like we do. You bet they do. And that's why Marathon Oil brings all these games to you.
Yeah, people love sports. Here to play, rooting them home, all the way. Yeah, people love sports. The Marathon brings them to you.
Yeah, we really love sports. And that's why this game is brought to you by the Marathon Oil Company. Because we like what you like. A good game, good friends, and good service for your car. See your Marathon man. He probably likes what you like, too.
Some people love sports.
Yes, they do.
Just like we do.
Oh, you betcha.
Yeah, people love sports. The Marathon brings them to you.
Marathon Oil Company. Still together, still doing it better.
Well, the Tigers are going to make a pitching change here before the Brewers bat on the bottom of the 8th inning. A man who needs some work, who does better and is more effective with a lot of work, Aurelio Lopez. Dan Petrie only allowed 3 hits while he was in there. Gave up 2 runs, one of them on the home run by Gorman Thomas. The only hits Petrie allowed here this afternoon were extra base hits. A ground rule double by Ed Romero that got in a run in the 2nd inning after a pair of 2-out walks. And then in the 7th inning, after Petrie had set down 13 straight batters, Thomas opened up the 7th with his 11th home run of the year. Ben Oglivie bounced sharply toward first, and John Walkenfuss dove to stop the ball, made a fine play to retire Oglivie. Then Sixto Lascano doubled up the gap in right center field before the last 2 batters were taken care of on groundouts to the left side of the infield. But Petrie, trying to throw fastballs by him, hit pretty hard in the 7th inning. And a combination of that plus the fact that Lopez needs some work. And the Tigers have a pretty healthy lead of 7 runs here as we move to the bottom of the 8th inning. So Aurelio is coming on out of the bullpen. Lopez with a record of 5 wins and 3 losses. He has 5 saves to his credit. Lopez says he's all ready to go, and we're back in action, Ernie.
And it'll be Charlie Moore to lead off against the right-hander. Charlie, the Milwaukee catcher, is 0 for 2. He's bounced to third and popped his shortstop against Petrie. 9 runs, 13 hits, no errors for Detroit. Milwaukee, 2 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. Here's the pitch, and he takes a strike. Fastball over on the right hand, batting Charlie Moore. He swings it, one up the middle. There goes Trammell back at second. Can't get it. It's through for a base hit. Moore greeting Lopez with a ground single through the box. Ball hit just hard enough to get through the infield. A man on, and Jim Gantner will be the batter, the left-hand batting third baseman. He struck out, bounced to second, and flied to left. That is the fourth hit for Milwaukee. He bunts. It's down the first base side, and he is hit by his own batted ball and will be called out. Moore goes to second. They'll have to bring him back to first base. The ball's dead. The runner cannot advance. Hit by his own batted ball. The catcher will get the put out.
I think the score has indicated that he is out by virtue of hitting the ball twice in fair territory.
So they're going to move the runner Moore back to first base, and Robin Yount will be the batter.
Oh, we've seen that happen, instances of that nature this past week, only 3 times now.
Nine to 2. The Tigers lead them. Robin is 0 for 3. He's flat out twice and taking a call third strike. Lopez ready to go to work. Delivers. It is a strike. He's in there to throw strikes, and he's doing it so far. Outfield is a little bit to left the infield and double play depth on Young. They're not bothering about the man at first base too much. Robin fouls one off out in front, and it goes down to third base side a little bit. 2 strikes to count on him. Well, the runs for Milwaukee with 2 out in the second off the start of Petrie. Lescano and Brohard walked, and Lescano came home on a double by Romero. Milwaukee got its other run on a leadoff home run by Thomas in the 7th, his 11th. There's a pop-up, foul ball. It'll be out of play between third and home in the lower deck.
Gotten the word now about John Flynn, why he had to leave the game so abruptly in the top of the 8th inning. He had a lower back problem.
Now Robin leaning and waiting on a strike 2 pitch from Senor Lopez. And there's another foul down in the dirt right at his feet. Still 2 strikes on it. The 4 hits divided among 4 Milwaukee batters. Thomas with 1, Lescano with 1, Romero with 1, and Moore with 1. Moore's is the only one not for extra bases. 9-2. Tigers lead them in the 8th inning. He swings and fouls it away down the right field side, lower deck. Still a strike 2 count on Robin Young. At one stage in the game, the start of Petrie had set down 13 in a row. Here's a final from that rain-delayed first game in New York of the National League. The Mets hung on and beat the Pirates 6-5. Burris, the winner, Romo, the loser, and Glenn picked up a save in the opening game. They've got another one to follow. There's a ball low. It's off the mitt of Parrish. Goes back to the screen. And cruising easily into second is Charlie Moore on the wild pitch. So the Brewers got a man at second base with 1 out in their 8th inning. The Tigers lead them by 7 runs, 9-2. It's a 1-2 pitch coming up to Yount. He swings and slices one to right. Down in the corner, fair ball, bouncing up against the wall. Rounding third, coming home is Moore. He'll score on the double by Robin Yount. A slashing drive to the right field corner. That'll make it 9-3 in favor of Detroit. Will bring up Sal Bando. Second inning in which the Brewers have picked up a couple of hits. The other one was in the 7th. Here's Bando at the plate. He's fly to right, bounced to short, and fanned. 0 for 3 for Sal. Takes a fastball. It's off the mid of Parrish, and on the third will go Robin Young. Waiting to see what Ed Sainsbury, the scorer, calls that one. It's a pass ball, he says. Robin taking third. Tigers will play their infield back with their 9-3 lead here in the 8th inning. 1 man away. Bando looks at a ball low, 2-0 from Lopez. Rhythmic applause getting started now by the Brewer fans all around us here at County Stadium. Set by Lopez. The pitch is swung on a bounding ball to short. Campbell has it. The run will score. Throw to Watkins first is in time. Bando's out. He picked up an RBI. And the score now is 9-4 as the Brewers have come back with 2 here in the 8th inning. Here's Thomas, who has hit a home run in 3 trips. 1 for 3 for Dorman. Deep to left on the right hand hitting the home run king. Infield very deep. Lopez pitching to him in the 8th inning with 2 out and nobody on. And Thomas takes a strike, a fastball above the knee. 9 runs, 13 hits for Detroit, 4 runs and 5 hits for Milwaukee. 1 error in the ball game. Charge it to Milwaukee. Thomas cuts and doesn't get it. Strike 2. 2 down. The base is empty. 8th inning. Milwaukee's left only 3 on the bases today. There's a pop-up out towards second baseman Pappy. He's there waiting. Makes the catch and the side retired. 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and nobody left. We go to the 9th inning. The Tigers 9, Milwaukee 4.
Hello, have you got any nice cauliflowers today?
Sir, this is a Murray's Discount Auto Store.
Maybe some radishes, too. I love radishes, but radishes don't always love meat, if you know what I mean.
You don't understand.
Of course I understand. That's why I come to your supermarket. Candy shopping carts, clean wide aisles. A person could eat off your floor.
Yeah.
And speaking of eating, I'll have some of these mushroom caps.
Those are distributor caps.
And 6 cans of this Diet Cola.
That's brake fluid. Sir, there's no food. At Murray's, we sell everything from car wax to carburetors, from mud guards to mufflers. We stock it in depth. We lay it out so it's easy to find. We have nice, friendly people to make your shopping easier. And finally, we price it low. I mean low, which is why we're called Murray's Discount Auto Stores.
See? Exactly. How much are these salami?
Sir, these are shock absorbers. I don't think I'm getting through to you.
You don't?
Murray's is different.
Oh, and a pound of brown.
Fran air filters, only $2.99. Limit 2 through Wednesday at Murray's.
Did any Tiger pitcher throw a complete game without allowing any base on balls in 1979? Milt Wilcox, who pitched against Texas August 7th. That's a Tiger tidbit, and I'm Mike Deja.
Tigers coming to bat now in the 9th inning. They've got the lead over the Milwaukee Brewers by a score of 9-4. Tom Brookins, who's contributed a couple of singles to the Tiger hitting attack, will be the batter. He has 2 for 4. Augustine on the mound, the 5th pitcher for Milwaukee. There's a drive to left. Ogilvy there. He's got it. Reaches up and makes the catch. Brookins hitting the ball hard right to the glove of the left fielder. 1 pitch and 1 down in the Tiger ninth. Stan Pappy with a 2-run single in the 1st inning. 1 for 4 steps up after the single in the 1st. In the 3rd inning, he bounced into 4th. Fly to center in the 5th inning and hit into 4th again to the 3rd baseman in the 7th. Lights are on now at County Stadium. 9-4, Tigers lead, 9th inning. Pappy takes the strike call. The left-hander Augustine delivers a slow curve that floats in high. 1-1 they count on Stan Pappy. He swings and fouls it away. Back of the plate, the count is 1-2. Travis, the left-hander started, did not survive the first inning. The Tigers punched out 5 runs and 5 hits against him. Mitchell came on in the first, Cleveland in the 6th, Flynn in the 8th, left with an injury, and then Augustine. There's a strike called. He struck him out. Pappy took a big curve on the outside corner and goes down, called out on strike. The second strikeout by Augustine. 2 down in the Tiger ninth inning. They've got the lead. 9-4. Here's Lentine, the leadoff man, up again. Fouls it away on the screen. It'll be his 6th time at the plate. He's drawn a walk, so that'll cut off 1 officially. And he has 2 and 4 official trips. A home run and a double in 4 turns. Swing and a foul out of play. He waited on the changeup and then swung late. 2 strikes on Jem Lentine. Leading it off and playing in center field today. Lou Whitaker getting a rest, and Lentine taking over that spot in the batting order. Now the left-hander Augustine delivers a high one, 1-2 on Jim. 9 runs, 13 hits, no errors for Detroit. The Milwaukee's 4 runs, 5 hits, they've made 1 error. He takes a strike, struck him out, and the side retired. At the end of 8.5 innings, Detroit 9, Milwaukee 4.
Who can pick up a pack of pickled peppers in Pittsburgh and unpack it tomorrow in Portland? Or 2 tons of toothpicks in Tucson and take them to Tuscaloosa? Who can pick up red sails in the Canadian sunset and deliver them before the moon comes over Miami? Or take blueprints from Brownsville all the way to Green Bay?
The answer to any shipping riddle is Emery. We've flown more packages to more places overnight than anyone else.
Or machine parts from Buffalo to where the deer and the antelope play.
Emery. From here to there, overnight.
Just like baseball, J.P. McCarthy is an institution. He's the sound of the mornings here on WJR with everything and everyone worth talking about. Yes, if someone is news in sports, you'll hear them live on JP Sportsline. Winners, losers, and comers. Who's hot and who's not. With JP beginning at 6:15 a.m. here on Radio 76, your power station for sports, and J.P. McCarthy, too.
Nine to 4, Tigers lead Milwaukee. The Brewers bat down the 9th inning against Lopez. Let's pause here briefly for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
This is WJR Detroit. In kitchen or car, no matter where you are, J.P. McCarthy brings you the first word on sports, weather, traffic, news, and good music, too. Join him mornings at 6:15.
Ogilvy will lead it off now against Lopez in the 9th inning. Ben's gone 0 for 3. He's hit the ball on the ground to the first baseman all 3 times and hit it hard. And there's the strike called. He got one on the outside corner. Cleveland defeats the White Sox today, 7-2. Denny over Burns in that one. Stanton gets the save. Bounding ball to second. Pappy gobbles it up. Throw to walking first. Got him. 1 out in the Milwaukee 9th inning. Lescano will be the batter. He's walked, fouled to the catcher, and doubled. Right-hander against the right-hander. 9-4. The Tigers lead him in the 9th inning. Milwaukee won the first 2 games of this 3-game series. Seen some heavy hitting on both sides during this series. A lot of run scoring. Lescano hits a bounding ball up the middle for a single. He pounced on that first pitch and gets his second hit. That's the 6th hit for Milwaukee. Lescano, the only man with 2. And the batter will be Brohard, the first baseman, who's gone 0 for 2. He's had a walk. Big, strong right-hand hitter up there against Aurelio Lopez. Petrie started, went 7 innings, gave up 2 runs. Lopez pitched in the 8th and allowed 2. There's a long foul fly deep to left. It'll be a long strike on Brohard. Right-hand batter waiting on Lopez's next delivery. Here it comes. He swings as a little looper back at the short right. Pappy dives, can't get it. It's off his glove into right field. On to second goes Lascano on the Texas League single off the bat of Brohard. Pappy made a valiant effort, but he just couldn't get under it. That'll bring up Ed Romero, who doubled in a run in the second. He has bounced to the pitcher and grounded out third to short to first. 1 for 3 for Romero. 9-4. The Tigers lead the Brewers. The Brewers now have a hit total of 7. They've had 6 of them in the last 3 innings. Right-hand batter takes the strike call. Tigers would like to get that double play ball here and head on home. 2 men on, 1 man down. The Tigers lead them 9-4, 9th inning. He swings a little fly ball at the short center. Here comes Lantine digging hard. He's got it. And the runners have to hold. 2 down, 2 on. That'll bring up the right-hand hitting catcher, Charlie Moore. Charlie has bounced to third, popped to short the last time up he singled. Tigers in the lead, 9-4, 9th inning. 1 to go. It'll be a Tiger victory. Set by Lopez and the right-handed deals. Here's a bunted foul back of the plate. 1 strike. That's the count on Charlie Moore. They're bringing Brookins in a little bit close to third base now. He was very deep on Charlie. He's up even with the bag. Lopez ready, delivers. Moore swings and pops the foul out of play, back of the plate. Two men on, 2 men out. 9th inning, Tigers lead by 5, 9-4 over Milwaukee. Moore getting back in the batter's box. Lopez looks him over. Stretches, pitches. There's a swing and a line drive to center. Lentine coming on, can't get it. Plays it on 1 hop. Rounding third and headed home is Lascano. He'll score. Stopping at second, Brohard. And the Brewers get another run to cut the Tiger lead to 9-5. 3 singles in this inning off Lopez. That'll bring up the top of the order, Gantner. With the Brewers still alive in the 9th inning. Gantner without a hit today. Has struck out, bounced to second, fly to left. There's a ball low, ball 1.
Robbins and Weaver are in the bullpen.
9-5 to score. There's a long drive to right. Going back is Cowens. He leaps and he makes the catch. And the ball game's over. Cowens caught it up against the fence. And that gives the Tigers a victory in the 3rd and final game of the series. In the 9th inning, 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. 2 runners are left on base. And the final score today in Milwaukee, the Tigers 9 and the Brewers 5.
A cowboy's face can tell you a lot about the land he's from. Bright eyes that crinkle from looking at the western sun. A line for every horse he broke, and a couple for the ones he didn't. Ruddy cheeks that say, sure, I've been out in the winter wind, but I don't mind. Like the land, he looks tough, but every now and then you see a smile as wide as the western sky that says, come on in. Here, then, is a Busch beer to the best of the West, to the kind of men you just have to look at to know where they're coming from. Busch. Head for the beer that always goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Busch. Brewed just one way, the natural way. For a taste that's always as smooth as its name. Busch. Head for Busch. Head for the mountain. Head for Busch. Head for the mountain. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
How long was Champ Summers in the National League? He came up with the Cubs in '75, then went to Cincinnati, Indianapolis, back to Cincinnati, and then to Detroit. That's a Tiger Tidbit, and I'm Mike Deja.
The Tigers managed to take the finale here in Milwaukee to win one of the 3 games in the weekend series. And they did it basically because of a good start this afternoon, getting 5 runs in the very first inning off the starter Bill Travers, who did not survive the opening inning. They picked up a total of 13 hits, the Tigers did, off Paul Mitchell, who succeeded Travers, Reggie Cleveland, and Jerry Augustine. John Flynn worked to just one man. 5.